I've ever led a race, a GNCC race, every single minute of the race since 2014. And I just did it today. It's my second win of the year, so as you can tell, I'm beyond stoked. I'm beyond stoked. I know I was probably making the track real wide for Landon, but he was pushing me the whole race. I mean, I had a great time, dude. I don't know about them, but I mean, I had a freaking blast. Great time. Oh my God, you don't understand. When they're pushing you that for 2 hours straight, when you get done, you hit the checkered line first. It is like one of the best feelings in the world. I guarantee you. Man, thank you.
Let's go, Brandon!
Woo!
Let's go, Brandon!
It was fun till the last lap. I was stuck in a bottleneck. The course worker had a chainsaw and he was cutting down trees in front of me just so I could get through. But Tracy was right behind me, so I had to hold her off the last lap. Actually, I'm racing the 250R, so 2-stroke Ironman. We'll see how it goes. Yep.
Oh, you know, it was a great track. I knew in the last lap we'd be hitting some bottlenecks. I hit one on the last lap for about 30 seconds. I'm like, ah. And I kept putting down. All of a sudden, I look and I see a bunch of people stuck. And Hannah's one of them. And I'm like, oh, but there's a person in between us. And luckily, one of the course marshals were there. They got a chainsaw out and made a line around. Hannah made it through. The person behind her got stuck. He got going again. He left me around. And then I tried my darndest to catch her. But I got second, and I'll take it. I'm happy on the day. Thank you.
There it is. Bang! Get you some cheers. You guys snag a photograph and make some noise for your top 3 in the women's pro class.
Who is that, Russell? I know who that is. That is Mason, and he does crazy stuff with us. Oh my God, great.
Pretty much all I'm saying is Jared McClure's taking the old guy's torch back today. McGill sold the furnace out of his house because he's carried the torch ever since Jared got injured. But McGill's gonna freeze this week because Jared's taking the torch back.
So what Big Dummy's trying to tell you, or I don't even remember what his name is at this point, it's irrelevant. Well, every year we talk about the torch. It's the old guy torch. Me, Jared, and Chris are the old guys, right? So whoever beat 2, we take the torch, we go hand it over, and then they take it till the next race.
You got need right there. Smells good too.
I feel like the guy that just won the lottery, and not like a state lottery, like the nationwide lottery. We're in America, and we get to go racing.
Yes, sir. Ready to put this thing back on the box. I'm ready for it. I'm just waiting on it, dude. It's been like time to do it again. Thanks.
Hey, we missed you last round, man. Glad to have you back.
Glad to be back, baby. How you feel?
Good, baby. How about you? When you feel good, I usually feel good too.
I'm pretty dang good.
All right, let's have
what we were looking at on lap 2. Whoa.
Wow, that pivot by Bryson. That was...
Look at that. Grabs the needle and he bumps Walker Fowler. Oh, they're together. Fowler stalls it out, and Bryson Neal able to get by, and look out. He is on his way. And toward the checker flags, and Bryson Neal does it. Takes another win here in the 2022 season.
Oh, what a race, man. What a race. I'll tell you what. I don't even know where to begin. It was insane. Made it way harder on myself. Took a couple dirt samples, ping-ponged off some trees. But pulled my head out my butt, came from 5th. I think I passed 4 people in the last, I don't know, 12, 13 miles, right like lap and a quarter. But just to get around Hunter and then to get Walker out there in that field, what a just a barn burning finish all the way down. This one was cool. This one was something else. Hey, for me, it's always the hardest way. Just look at me what I did in snowshoe. We got to get knocked down 100 times and then get back up. So it's always the hard way, I guess. Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if you can't win, you got to get second. But I knew I had to get the whole shot and try to control the race. I had talked to Brandon Frazier, and he kind of said the same thing. Maybe he wasn't the fastest guy, but there was nowhere to pass. So that's what happened. I mean, I got out there and I rode really tight, and still my arms are rock hard. It was a weird track, and I just didn't have it this year. Last year I rode really well here. Obviously Bryson wasn't here, but yeah, I struggled all day. So I was a roadblock for about 4 riders there for a long time, and then finally just tried to do something, tried to get away a little bit at the end, and I heard a bike coming. I didn't know if it was Hurt or Neil, but yeah, just didn't have it at the end. So I did the best I could, and I know that. So yeah, I'll go to the last race and do the best I can, and we'll see what happens.
A roadblock's a really humble way to describe
no, I mean,
it was a lot of a train track.
Yeah, but man, if you can ask anybody, the pace was slow. I mean, we took a 5-lap race, and I was able to go slow enough to make it a 4. So I'll take credit for a 4-lap race for sure.
How was it, dude?
Oh, it was good. It was actually I was scared to look behind me at some points. Bryson was behind at one point, and then I was 4th, and I caught a glimpse of Junior's helmet in the field. There's a lot of spots you can kind of see each other, and I think there was a lot of us up front. Like I said, I was kind of scared to look behind to see how many were back there, but overall it was a good day. The track was really nice. Not a lot of passing options, I feel like, in the woods, but the field sections made it fun and makes it a little bit easier and kind of gives you a second hope if there's nowhere to pass in the woods. But the track was mint, perfect weather, and couldn't be more pumped. Thank you.
Yeah, I got a win, not too bad.
The 2022 Grand National Cross Country Championship presented by Specialized has been one of the most grueling championships we've seen in a number of seasons on the ATV side of racing. One rider with 7 straight championship titles under his belt is challenged for his 8th straight. One rider, whose season was cut short 1 year ago, tries to make his bid once again. Today, the line is drawn in the sand, and one will walk away a champion. The winds are blowing. Is it the winds of change? Will Walker Fowler have 8 straight, or will Bryson Neal prevail victorious? Hold on tight. The battle for the championship and the glories of Ironman are just around the corner.
Are you ready to go? GNCC Racing!
Good afternoon, everyone, as we welcome you along the World Wide Web at RacerTV.com, and of course here to the world famous Ironman GNCC in Crawfordsville, Indiana. It has become a tradition as far as off-road racing is concerned, as we've seen well over 700 ATV pilots already traversing the trails here today, as we got nearly 200 ready to take to the track here in just a few moments and make things happen. Few words coming in. I'm understanding that we may be just a couple minutes behind. We've got some things being taken care of out on the race course to make sure it's ready to go. Had a great race this morning, capturing a national championship. Congratulations to Cody Collier in the 4x4 Pro class. He's been working with us on RacerTV.com and the Call GNCC Live a lot here this season, so congratulations to him. But right now, folks ready themselves here and congregate down in the first turn region as we await the official word as to an all systems go. So 10 minutes is what they're telling us, folks. So stand by. We're about 10 minutes out from getting this show underway here at Ironman and the Shaver Family Farm. Well, I'll tell you, folks, as we wait right now, a lot of things going on. We've got some great folks in-house, and one of the folks that we do have in-house with us, we talk a lot about GBC tires. So you hear us talk about Canati tires and what they do with the Moto Heroes, and you've heard us mention this guy's name maybe a time or two. If you're a former, or if you're an ATV racing fan, you might know him from his ATV Moto days. We're talking about Corey Ellis, who also was a ATV GNCC pilot, but working now for GBC Motorsports and GBC Power Sport Tires. Corey, I tell you, another phenomenal turnout, and you look out here today, you know that ATV racing is still alive and well in this world.
Yeah, it's an awesome event to come to. Ironman, you know, it's a lot of people out here cheering you on. I got to go out today and do one lap, check out the track. Track is really good, a little dusty, but it have some really good racing today. It's gonna be a battle out there in the pro class, you know, with Bryson Neal and Walker Fowler to see who comes out with the championship. So it's gonna be a really good day. Have a lot of fun spectating. And also, it's Johnny Gallagher's last professional race, so everybody's here supporting that.
Absolutely. That's one of the things I was going to say. Wrapping up 27 years as an ATV pro here in GNCC Racing. We salute Johnny Gallagher, and of course, we maybe try to get a word in with him here in just a moment. 300 plus XC1 starts, 150 plus top 10s, 15 plus top 5s, four podiums, and one XC1 win. The legend, Johnny Gallagher. We salute him, and I know a big part of his program is our title sponsors here this weekend at the Yamaha Racing Ironman GNCC. And Donnie and Jennifer, if one of you guys can come over here and talk with us about things. And I know Yamaha Motor Corporation and Yamaha Racing is really big into things, but I know Donnie Luce is also big into not only racing but also the ATV side of things, and probably when you look at the years that Johnny Gallagher has spanned as an XC1 pro in GNCC racing, let alone how long this man has raced and still as competitive as he is today, he is truly a living legend and an amazing person.
Yeah, I can't agree more. I think the sport definitely is better with Johnny in it. We know he's not going to be sitting the sidelines very often. I'm sure he'll be on the line, and we look forward to be on a Yamaha for long years to come.
Absolutely. And speaking of Yamaha, I know Yamaha's a big part of this weekend. You guys have vowed a lot of dollars to obviously the breast cancer awareness and stuff that goes on here at the Ironman GNCC. I know championships pay extra dollars in dividends, and wins pay extra dollars in dividends, and you guys really get behind this.
Yeah, we believe in the cause that GNC pronounced to us. I think Jennifer and Steve Nessel do a really good job of tying it all in with our racing efforts, and we're proud to continue our association with it.
Awesome. Well, Donnie, thank you very much for being here. Jennifer, all you guys, thanks for being here. We certainly appreciate it, but I've just got the official word, and DJ Judd, guess what? It's time to meet our starting lineup. Rolling to the line today, the XC1 Pro class, as the stage is set here, and of course, a championship battle of epic proportions is about to unfold as one challenger has risen to the top and nearly to the crest of taking a championship. Will he be able to make it happen? Will the wily veteran and champion be able to sneak one in and make it 8 straight? We're about to find out here in just a few moments as we meet our starting lineup. Going to the line today in accordance to points to the first 12 rounds of GNCC racing. And today we will crown a champion. To the line first, riding aboard the 241 out of Bidwell, Ohio on a Magna 1 Motorsports backed Yamaha, Bryson Neal. Rolling to the line second today, 7-time GNCC champion aboard the number 1 from Rogers, Ohio on a WFR factory racing Yamaha, Walker Fowler. He is third in points, rolling to the line next aboard the number 2 from Newfield, New York on the original Formula 88 Ithaca Recreation Sports Maxxis and Fly Racing Yamaha, Hunter Hart. Rolling to the line next, fourth in points aboard the 733 from Edinburgh, Pennsylvania on a Getter Nissan Kenda Action Off-Road Richardson Racing Yamaha, the Cole Train, Cole Richardson. He is fifth in points after 12 rounds of racing, riding aboard the number 712 from Waxhaw, North Carolina on a Pierce Performance GBC Action Off-Road Active Waste Solutions Yamaha, John Glada Jr. Sixth in points, riding aboard the number 7 from Windsor, New York on a Fly Racing GBC 92 B&R Motorsports Yamaha, Devin Feehan. Up next, riding aboard the number 3 from Casca, Pennsylvania on a JMR GBC Elka Moose Racing Honda, a sneaky stay, Jared McClure. Eighth in points aboard the 521, hailing from Waverly, West Virginia on an Over Tires Moose Racing Parts Unlimited Honda, the Gator, Adam McGill. Rolling to the line next, aboard the number 6, he is 9th in points, hailing from Akron, Ohio on a B&R Motorsports GBC Tires Hauser Racing Yamaha, Josh Merritt. And rolling to the line next, aboard the number 714 from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania on a Bulletproof Doors B&R Singe Graphics Yamaha, Ronnie Rush. To the line next, aboard the number 9 machine from Sunbury, Pennsylvania on a CBR GBC Action Off-Road Fly Racing Amsoil Yamaha, Chris Borridge. And now the 703 from Petersburg, Indiana on an Action Off-Road Maxxis BDO Yamaha, Austin Abney. Rolling 13th to the line today aboard the number 15 as he wraps up his 27-year XC1 Pro Racing out of Aurora, Ohio on a GBC Fly Racing Factory Yamaha. Ladies and gentlemen and Ironman race fans, please welcome to the starting line one final time as an XC1 Pro, Johnny G. Johnny Gallagher. Rolling to the line next aboard the number 12 from Acme, Pennsylvania on an Action Off-Road Pro Graphics Pierce Performance Yamaha, Jay Shadron. And last and certainly not least, from Hillsboro, Ohio on an SBR Pierce Performance GBC Tires Yamaha, we welcome Wyatt Wilka. And that, ladies and gentlemen, your starting lineup for this, the XC1 Pro Class and the Yamaha Racing Ironman GNCC. My apologies to Chris Borch. I miss you there in the starting grid. But I'll tell you what, the anticipation is building, folks. I'm nervous just like everybody else. I'm excited as to what today is going to hold as far as the championship is concerned. Can Bryson Neal hold on to this 12-point lead he has? Or will Walker Fowler find some way to yank it from his fingertips? The grasps both have a clinch on this number one plate right now. Neither one want to let go. And about 2 hours from now, we'll find out for sure who's going to be holding it. But right now, my friends, it's time to say goodbye to our Monster Energy Activation Transport as DJ Judd removes the meat. That's right, the Monster Energy Activation Transport making its way off the starting line now as it clears the way for the starting line, and that first turn for these riders to dig deep and begin to wage the battle in the war that is Ironman GNCC, and that is for the number one plate. All friends and family members all around from the GNCC Racing Nation as we are stacking in deep here this afternoon. Beautiful sunshiny skies, warm weather, and a great greeting here to the final round of 2022 as Ricky Towery steps out, steps up, and lets these riders know 1 minute before the start of this final championship battle of 2022. Our next information coming from Ricky Tower will be the blue flag indicating 30 seconds and a dead engine call as the hush goes across this starting line. The riders ready themselves for this war. And Ricky Towery looks at his watch. And he looks up and he waves the blue flag and it says, shut them down, shut them down, shut them down. We are now less than 30 seconds away from going GNCC racing. And I got to ask you, Indiana race fans, are you ready to go GNCC racing? Okay, I didn't hear that at all. Maybe you didn't hear me, so we're going to try this one more time. Remember where we are, and remember what we have at stake here today. So, Ironman race fans, I'm going to ask you one more time. Are you ready to go GNCC racing? 10 seconds. And row number one, the XC1 Pro will be off and rolling at the Yamaha Ironman GNCC. And the number one, Walker Fowler, displays the number one in the air as he takes to the early lead in hopes of capturing his 8th Grand National Cross Country Championship title. Can he make it happen here today? A lot at stake as we get set for row number 2. The XC2 Pro-Am ready to roll. Grayson Eller, Brandon Owens, Kenny Schick, Nick Royalty. Also Ben Berger, Daniel Peters, Chase Allison. 10 seconds. Dylan Walraven, Logan Huff, Steve Harrell, and Tanner Walker. And it is the 926 Tanner Walker from Berlin, Pennsylvania. 9-2 crew, B&R Motorsports, Kenda Tires backed ride. Up next, College A, 16 to 21-year-olds, Keaton Henderson, Alex Tiemann, Cody Forrester, Dalton Keys, Riley Salick, Nathan Dearborn. 10 seconds. Cole Davis, Andre Williams, Christopher Howard, Trevor Furby, Ethan Meyer, Nate Harvey, Tyler Coulter, Mason Turner, John Ashcraft, Slater Collins, I should say, Garrett Merriweather, Jaden Lemke, Logan Still, Michael Horwath, Tanner Grease, Jace Cooper, and couldn't quite catch the number on that early lead. But we also have Lane McCormick, Kai Arbogast, Zach Knight, Chance Hickey, Parker Henderson, Trenton Beck, and Dayton Hickey, Colton Beck, Damian Hawkins, James Glauder, Ricky Surgeon, and Mason Howard. Junior A, 22 plus in 10 seconds. Jeremy Ladon, Alan Blavos, Bryson Mullahan, Henry Moore, Colton Kasuda, William Wallace, Alex Elioff, Alan Daniels, Brett Wilson, Mitchell Kidd, Braden Nichols, Garrison Paul, Frankie Egret, Seth Wilson, Devin Masters, Jack Kidd, and Cody Vandeliner. Oh, again, can't quite catch the numbers on these. As we go to the Vet 830 plus class coming up next. Seconds. Jeffrey Pickens, Brad Whitehead, David Machisco, Brian Wolf, David Machisco III, John Arnold, Michael McAvoy, and Jared Little. So we got junior and the third. The 25 machine of Brad Whitehead going to take the early lead in this one. As we go next to the senior 840 plus class coming up next in 10 seconds. Dirk DeCesar, Zachary Phillips, Brian Axline, Douglas Hunter, Wesley Stone, Dominic Medici, Jeremy Gouchard, Matthew Ludnell, TJ Barrett, Chris Conklin, Todd Moscala, and Ronald Varndell. The Marlboro man, Todd Moscala. And it is the 1-1-1 because he's three-time special. Zachary Phillips from Parsons, West Virginia on a Kenny Vincent Grenade Coatings Greg's ATV backed ride. College B 16 to 21-year-olds. Michael Worth, Denton White, Austin Harden, Connor Brandt, Caden Bruno, Connor Adair, Colby Burns, Jack Neely. 10 seconds. Hayden Hunter, Jaden Launderville, Braden Brock, Nathan Fravel, David Witt, Jacob Boisvert, Andrew Muskoff, Evan Grant, and Gavin Temple, Briggs Lazelle, Conley Thomas, Evan Hawkers, Charlie Stewart, Austin Bratcher, Jaden Falk. 369, Nathan Fravel from Pataskala, Ohio, I believe, grabbing that early lead on a Bullet Ranch GBC slide transport back ride. So we go to the Junior B 22 plus class coming up next. Got Mick Rice, Garrett McCord, Nick Colt, Corey Zachary Kuhn, Russell Fulford, Tracy Furby, Tyler Pittman, Logan Case, also Ramey Wilkinson, Paul McCloskey, Michael Miller, Aaron Vickery, Dylan Stein, Hunter Boyle, Austin Greenwell, Christopher Leslie, Josh Turner, Kirkland Zalanko. 10 seconds. Jacob Petty, Michael Donston, and Nicholas Blaney. The 404 Logan Case from Hopedale, Ohio. He's BNR, GBC, and Scott sponsored. Over to the Vet B30 plus class coming up next. Tyler Griffin, Kenneth Tucker, David Kite, Taylor Lazelle, Joseph Alberts, Brett Menerick. 10 seconds. Also Shane Spineweber, Blake Burke, Rusty Deckard, Sean Slattery, Cameron Roth, Dusty Gatos, Derek Hart, David Bonebreak, Joseph Taker, Cashmore from the MSXC, Derek Calloway, Corey Pancake, and Kyle Davis. Didn't quite catch the early leader in that one. But we go to the Senior B 40 plus class coming up next with riders like Rick Marino, Douglas Bailey, Shane Worth, Jason Noble, Travis Fleming. 10 seconds. Andy Rippey, Brent Marshall, Brian Marshall, Bruce Marshall, Ivo Behalik, Jason Disco, Lyle Morrison, Mike Reiser, Chad Wallace, Tim White, Robert Stevens, and Richie McCauley. .104, Rick Marino from Niles, Ohio on a Marino's Custom Concrete and J&J Concrete backed ride, grabbing the lead on this one. And folks, be careful. Looks like we still got, well, they're working on that one, but still a live start, if you will. And my friends, that is going to wrap things up as far as the start is concerned. Some 200 more riders traversing the trails here at this amazing Ironman GNCC. And when we return, we'll catch up with the war that is waging
in the battle for the championship and Johnny G's last ride. Stick around. GNCC continues after this.
We all have our reasons to accomplish, to work hard. We share a common goal, to be the best. Keep fighting, put in the work, never take the easy way. Your drive and determination fuels our passion.
Born of family values and a homegrown work ethic, Cometic Gaskets seals your machine so you can focus on the finish line. Cometic Gaskets are the competitive standard for racers who demand the very best. Cometic Gaskets are constructed from superior materials designed to perform in the most demanding environment, whether it's championships on the line or a day in the dirt with friends. Professionals and enthusiasts depend on Cometic. Cometic Gaskets, sealing championships since 1989.
AMSOIL runs on freedom and has since 1972. We punish our products firsthand in our world-class laboratories and beyond, because some things can't be learned from a test tube. Run with us.
Ben Kelly here, 2021 GNCC champion. Subscribe to Racer X and get yourself a fresh FMF t-shirt.
This Racer TV broadcast is brought to you by Specialized. Specialized Turbo e-bikes. It's you, only faster. And by Rocky Mountain ATV MC. Get ready.
And welcome back to GNCC Live. Mikey Wayne's here. I'll be joined alongside by the voice. You've already heard those iconic 10-second calls. Rodney Tomlin, the farewell round, if you will. So Rodney Tomlin will be joining us here in the booth in just a moment. And then, of course, Cody Collier, your national champ of the 4x4 Pro class, going to do the race call with us today as well. Matter of fact, he was on the podium. I said, buddy, are you going to celebrate? Are you going to come to work? And he said, I'm going to come to work. That's what I'm here for. So Cody Collier, a little celebration for him, and then he'll be joining us in the booth here to give you the race call. And looking at mile marker number 3, look at those folks out there rolling. And if you're just joining us here on Racer TV, we'll get you caught up with our specialized start recap. Off and rolling, obviously, I got to think, one of the biggest races we've had in years, maybe a decade or better, but nonetheless, off and rolling. And a man who doesn't necessarily control his own destiny today. He can only do what he can do. And the best he can do is come out and win and just kind of hope that Bryson Neal finishes a little further down the pack. That is Walker Fowler doing what he needs to do. Look at that, though. The 2-4-1 last off the line. Now, don't panic. Bryson Neal will say it himself, man. My starts haven't been the best. Already clicked off a couple of positions right there as they hit it into the woods, but we'll talk more on that scenario as far as the championship is concerned in just a moment. First, the XC2 stacked full of talent and jockeying for position early in this one. Ended up being the 9-2 backed ride of Tanner Walker. So Walker Fowler grabs it for the XC1 and Tanner Walker bookends, the Walker bookends, if you will, the XC1 and XC2 right there with good starts and hole shots leading the final race here at 2022. Oh, getting a little crazy there in the XC2. Didn't catch that the first time around, so we're off and rolling, and you have to forgive me. I'm not sick, but I am recovering, and my voice is on the struggle bus right now as we've been calling races in the dust this morning. So forgive me. Mute button will be my best friend, I promise you. Taking a look at the Yamaha Racing track map. Hey, classic Ironman. As you take a look at it, the feature points, of course, Ironman Hill. You got the Twin Hills in there. You got the Monster Mile and the FMF Power Point. Typical GNCC track we see out here at Ironman. I would say, hey, weather absolutely perfect. However, we have really not had rain here in Indiana in a while. No moisture in the ground. Has not rained this weekend, and you could tell in those starts. You can tell looking there in the woods. Water trucks can only hit so many spots out here, but it's going to be a dust bowl at the end of the day, and I think certainly tomorrow we got to start thinking about air filters. It's been maybe a couple of years since we saw guys mid-race having to change air filters, but we'll see how things shape up here today. Taking a look at the Monster Mile there at mile marker number 9. Now, last when we left off, we thought it was still Walker Fowler out in front leading the way. However, little chatter that it might have been Hunter Hart up into the number 1 spot. But let's play out that scenario. A championship is on the line here today between Bryson Neal and Walker Fowler. And Bryson Neal, he sat in the driver's seat coming into today with the 12-point lead on Walker Fowler. And to put it in simplest terms, obviously there's a ton of scenarios. Bottom line is Bryson Neal finishes in front of Walker Fowler. He wins it, wins the national title. As it stands right now, Walker Fowler would win it. He's out front. And what Bryson Neal has got to do from the back of the pack is he's got to get up into, I believe, at least 4th place. At least 4th place is where he's got to get. Rest assured, he's going to be hauling the mail and clicking off positions here. But it's not going to be easy for him. None of those guys in that XC1 class want to lay down and just accept it, you know. So, but, man, he's done it so many times this year, you can't count him out. You don't win the race on the first turn, right? But you can certainly lose it, as we know. But going to be I'm excited. I was talking about this a little this morning. Like the folks down there, you know, they're excited as well. But you guys look good down there. I got to tell you, it's a beautiful sight. But nonetheless, historic day in GNCC. Not just the national title, but taking a look at Johnny Gallagher, his farewell ride here today. That's fantastic. I'm looking at the Johnny Gallagher. Is this a GBC special shirt? Okay, the Johnny Gallagher shirt. He's got all of his national numbers on there. Dude, that is sick. I'm an extra large, by the way. Okay. All right, there we go. Got my Johnny G shirt. Here we go. Yamaha Racing Live Drone. Got some great footage right there. Okay. Well, getting it up into the berm. Let's kick up some dust. That's what we were talking about, how dry it's been here. Really, thank you, really kicking the dust up, and talk about a man on the throttle. absolutely putting some separation between him and the rest of the pack. I believe that was Walker out front, and it might have been Hunter Hart in second, I believe. But maybe it is flip-flopped. Okay, so maybe that was that might have been Hunter Hart out in front, as a matter of fact. So maybe have Hunter Hart, and I believe we're getting reports of McClure in that number 3 spot. Hey, weird round, right? We get to run the pink plastics. You get a little lenient on that. Everything starts blending. But nonetheless, off to a fantastic start here. I believe they're saying Hunter Hart they think is out front. So there is a little bit of confirmation. We'll know as they come in here to the Monster Mile. And if my voice can hang on, boy, that looked like so Hunter Hart is your leader out in front, and there goes Walker Fowler in the 2 spot. Now, as it stood, I don't know about second. We're going to play scenarios all day long here, but as it stood with Walker out in front, Bryson Neal would have to get up to 4. So, you do the math. You basically drop back another position or so. Points get a little tricky outside of that top 3, but we'll continue to monitor it and keep our fingers on the pulse of this championship race. But hey, how about that Adam McGill right there? Scooting. Had a lot of Hondas this morning, doing really, really well. Maybe that's good things for Adam McGill today. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. But rest of the XC1 rolling through mile marker number 9, joined in booth by Cody Collier. And Cody, I'm going to throw it to you because I need to clear my throat. But, hey, first and foremost, man, congratulations. There went Bryson Neal on screen. Congratulations on the 4x4 Pro Championship, man.
Well, thank you. No, it was a great season. Ups and downs, uphill battle from the start. Had some unfortunate issues at the beginning of the year, but just stuck with it, stay consistent, and put myself in a good place to take it here at Ironman.
Well, certainly, like I said, congratulations in order for you. And I wouldn't have blamed you at all had you said, Mikey, I'm a party. It's on now. I'm going to celebrate with my numero uno shirt and do my thing. But you said, no, hey, I'll come join the booth.
No, I love doing this. It's fun.
There you go.
Part of the day. Part of my race weekend now.
And it is a championship battle we're watching unfold right before our very eyes. And right now, if it were to end, Walker Fowler would be our champ. But we know we got a lot of racing before we see the checkered flag in this one. And just like he has not laid down all season long, we don't expect Bryson Neal to lay down here today. He knows what's at stake, and I guarantee you, Bryson Neal, because I know I was laying awake last night playing through scenarios in my head. Rodney, you want this seat?
No, man. I figure he just won a championship, so he deserves a seat.
Yeah, my back hurts a little bit. I just got done. This track's getting a little beat up. I appreciate it.
I come into the booth as we check in with these riders here at the 9-mile marker. He's sitting in my chair, wearing my headset.
Oh, my God.
I'm thinking, we're getting a little ahead of ourselves, are we not?
It wasn't me.
Got the number 1 back now. Watch out, Rodney.
I still got this one in one more day, Cody. But, man, what a start today. And like you said, you're talking about the dust out there. I heard you talking about that, Mikey. It is one of the driest Ironman GNCCs on record in quite some time, and actually one of the warmer ones in quite some time. I've seen it go from 80 degrees and then drop to like 50 in like 20 minutes literally out there. But, man, how about Hunter Hart? I know there's a lot of talk about this, Hunter, saying this is the kind of things he wants to do. We saw a lot of glimpses of greatness several times this season. We've seen him getting stronger and stronger consistently, challenging for the passes, making passes, leading the race, and today he's setting the pace.
Yeah. Me and Hunter Hart actually talked to him a little bit walking the track, and me and him played football with a group of kids for like 2 hours yesterday. We had a great time yesterday, and he was just here having a great time. He's ready for it.
Awesome. So out here at the 10-mile marker, and while we're so excited about this, there's a lot that we can be excited about because this is Ironman GNCC. Got this amazing championship battle that is up and obviously for grabs right now. Bryson Neal, it's basically his to lose at this particular point. Not only do we have that excitement looming in the air, but I know fans are turning out in the droves, not only for the championship battle, but for the headliner entertainment, which is going to be taking place tonight. DJ Judd is going to be playing music at 8 o'clock tonight And then this guy, Tyler Farr or something like that, I think supposed to be Tyler Farr. Let's see. Let's see what are you on now?
I don't know.
There you are. Yeah, you're on now. So Tyler Farr, I'm sorry, man. I probably should show you a little bit more respect than
I got
that.
a show tonight.
That's the best. That's the best answer.
I just came here for the races.
They're for the absolutely, but yeah, you came for a good one, man.
Yeah, I have. This might be my first event like this I've been to. I've played at NASCAR events, IndyCar events, mud bogs. I think this is my first one of these.
Well, I tell you, you're getting a face full of the best right now, and you couldn't have come to a better race than what you're at right now, because this championship that's looming in the air between these guys, and of course, you know what it's like to battle and to try to work your way up. You do it in the music industry all the time, man. You battled your way into a spot on the radio, into stardom as far as that is concerned in the country music world, man, and it is awesome to have you out here tonight.
I appreciate y'all having us. Yeah, there should be a bunch of country fans here, I would say. There's a ton of people here.
Absolutely, and there'll be more tonight is the amazing thing, Tyler. So what can the folks expect to see tonight as far as the show is concerned?
Well, I get asked that a lot. I tell most people the same thing. I said I'm in charge of putting on a party, and I'm the host of the show, and make sure everyone has a good time. We're playing some new stuff. I got a new song coming out the first of the year with my buddy Jelly Roll, so we'll be playing it. We got a couple new ones, but we're having a good time, having a party after all these folks get done watching this race, and it's going to be a good time.
Absolutely.
Weather's great.
So with the atmosphere, you said this is the first time you've ever been to an event like this. So far, what kind of vibe are you picking up on the GNCC Racing Nation?
Oh, just a bunch of rednecks. Which
we wear that with a badge badge of honor.
As you should. We're last of the dying breed. I woke up this morning, looked out the window, I was like, oh, these are my people. This is going to be fun.
Absolutely, and you are. The show tonight is going to be. I think you're going to be blown away. You're going to be asking if you could come back. I promise you.
I have no doubt.
Well, I know Craig Morgan's been on that stage before. Low Cash was there last year, and to have you there is an honor, man, and to be here watching this great racing. And like we said, we've got a great and amazing battle that is underway. I don't know. You probably kind of heard it in a nutshell, but we got 12 points that separates a champion. In second place, he's 12 points behind. He's 7-time champion, looking for his 8th straight, but the young up-and-comer is challenging him now. So
he's got a young buck on his tail.
Absolutely.
Young buck's in the lead. Young buck's in the lead.
Went past the tail.
Behind. Yeah.
This is pretty cool, though. I mean, this drone, drone footage.
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was Supercross, really, honestly, what it was going to be. And then I'm like, oh, four-wheelers. And I'm like, I don't drive my four-wheeler that fast after I shoot a deer. I'd have lost them around the first lap.
Well, I tell you what, these guys do ride them fast. There's no doubt about that. And, speaking of that, it's funny that you say that, as Walker Fowler made his way by just a few moments ago. I was watching an old episode from a couple of years ago, a couple of seasons ago. Walker Fowler actually got his first deer not too long ago. I mean, I think it was like 2 years ago. So he's a deer hunter as well, but he wasn't using that. He was using one of the Yamaha Rhinos or something like that.
Yeah.
All his deer.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, I love, this part of the country. There's a bunch of hunters, a bunch of country music fans, a bunch of people that love ATVs, and, those are my people. So.
Absolutely. We love it. You're our people, too, as Hunter Hart checks in with the lead on this one. This is a young kid that is striving to be at the top of his game. And, Tyler, I know you're at the top of your game and still climbing, man, and looking forward to more number one hits out of you in the future and bigger and better things. And really, most importantly, looking for a great show tonight. Like I said, you are going to leave here saying, can I come back and do that again?
I can't wait. I appreciate y'all having us.
All right, Tyler Farr.
Thank you.
Country music sensation, no doubt about that. And, of course, Walker Fowler is an ATV racing sensation that is chasing by 21 seconds right now, according to timing and scoring, behind Hunter Hart. What a major gap that we've already seen accumulated there. That, some folks might be surprised of the fact that Hunter Hart is leading this early on in the race. We've seen him lead, but not really necessarily this early, and we've never seen him lead with this much authority. And I think that Hunter Hart has come out here on a mission.
Yeah. He was. You see him last race, hungry. He passed Walker twice in that one field section, and looked racy last race. And the dust here is so bad. It's the worst powder I've seen in 3 or 4 years of my racing career. And he got that good start, ran away with it. From the dust cloud.
Yeah, and the racing action developing a far cry different from what we saw just 2 weeks ago when we were in Newburgh, West Virginia. If you recall, the top 5, 6 riders were all within about 5, 6 seconds of each other. Right now, first and second, 21 seconds apart. Back to third, Adam McGill, the 5:21, 33 seconds. Cole Richardson in fourth, another 15 seconds back. 2 seconds off that pace is Bryson Neal in fifth. And John Guada Jr., the 7:12, in the number 6 spot. The only difference there is we've got Adam McGill in place of Jared McClure from what we had a couple of weeks ago, except they're all spread out. Hunter Hart having some issues, it looked like there, Cody, at the FMF PowerPoint.
Top of that hill. Yeah, we were reading off the running order. Hunter had an issue, got a bobble, caught a rooter to the wall on the top of that hill and just tipped her up. Lost a few seconds there.
Well, I tell you, I know if race fans watched last week's race and was coming to expect what they saw just 2 weeks ago, they are definitely in for a shock and surprise right now, as things are, like we said, a far cry different from what we saw there in Newburgh, West Virginia. Conditions obviously a little bit different. You see right there the clock, 27:01 lap time there for Hunter Hart, which puts him 21.2 seconds ahead of Walker Fowler. Another 33.8 is Adam McGill. Way to go on the graphics, guys.
And it looks like Bryson Neal got around Cole Richardson in the last shot going up the Twin Hills. Hunter Hart blowing the corner, getting in the powder. Like I'm telling you guys, the powder is so thick. If you get into that outside stuff, it's just going to swallow you up and pull you out into it. You got to be careful about how hard you drive into it and use the berm.
Well, good news for race fans right now is that Bryson Neal has made his way into the 4th place position. So if Walker Fowler does win, I think that should yield the championship, if I'm not mistaken, still in the favor of Bryson Neal. So he's right where he needs to be, so to speak, but I don't think he's done. But at the same time, we've got some big hurdles to overcome right here today as far as time gaps are concerned. As Bryson Neal gets around Richardson, there's 15 seconds now that he's got to gap up to Adam McGill. And then from there, another 34 seconds, maybe more than that, between Adam McGill and Walker Fowler at that particular point. Then once he gets there, he's got another 21 seconds to try to reel in Hunter Hart.
It's crazy. Bryson Neal, which you saw, Rodney, horrible start. I think dead last off the start before he went in the woods. He clicked off a couple of positions, and Hall in the Mail now knows exactly what he needs to do. Guarantee it. Like I was saying last night, I was losing sleep doing math in my head and on my phone. So you know Walker Fowler, simple for him. He's got to go out and win and just, hey, the chips fall where they do, right? What happens, happens. But for Bryson Neal, there's several different scenarios here. And, you know, he openly admitted at the end of the last race, I don't want to push. I don't want to go that, 100 miles an hour where I am pushing myself to try and get the win. But I got to think, Cody, you can speak to this. As a rider, maybe today, for example, going for a national title, icing on the cake, right?
I went full send mode today.
Full send. There we go. That's the answer I wanted.
The same thing I was doing all year.
There you go.
Absolutely. You don't want to break that momentum.
Have my confidence. Know what I'm doing. Well, sometimes when you pull back from what you are doing, you make mistakes because you're hitting stuff so much slower, and it'll catch you different and off guard because you're not used to riding that pace anymore. So to me, it was just I'm going to ride my pace, ride my race like I have all year, and just do my thing.
Absolutely, but don't take necessarily any unnecessary chances.
Yeah,
might be
absolutely
one of the big key factors in that particular scenario. And oftentimes we think lay back, just ride hard as you need to. But like Cody says, I mean, you've got to keep that momentum and you've got to do what you're used to doing. Man, we've got some battling going on. I think this the battle back for 4th, 5th, and 6th place between.
This is looks like it's 10th place between Wyatt Wilkin and Austin Abney.
And Wyatt Wilkin
up to the XC1 class.
Running. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, they haven't battled like this
next year, but stepping up here for Ironman, see where his pace is at, is pretty cool.
We'll see some water on the course. A big break from that, that dust, and up the Ironman Hill for the first time.
Walker is there.
Wow. So he's bridged that 22-second gap.
And we wait for third.
This is where we begin to clock it, I guess, to see what this gap is back to 3rd place, because again, Neal, who had moved up to 4th
had a little time to gain on Adam McGill to try to move into that number 3 spot.
My goodness, that is a gap.
Look at the people gathering down around once again as our third place. There's Adam McGill making his way in.
I was saying for the youth race this morning, there was a lot of Hondas clicking off top 3s today. I thought, hey, maybe there's something good in the air for the Red Boys today. So maybe McGill ends the season on the box. I'm going to throw it out there right now. I was talking with his dad and Haley last night, and there's Bryson Neal. Taking his time, check it out. He says, I'm okay, nobody panic. 241 is doing just fine. But Adam McGill said he wasn't partying tonight. Said he's going home. And I'm like, no. So Adam McGill, I know you can't hear me out there, but I know Mama can, and I know Pop can. And if by God he gets a podium today, he better stay here and party.
You really believe that?
That's what he says. I don't know. I think he's getting soft, Rodney. I think Adam McGill's getting soft.
He's
getting soft. He's old. You know, he's 2 years younger than I am, so he's getting old.
Wow, is he that old?
I think
not meaning that you're old.
No,
but
no.
In racer years, that's pretty old.
I think he
decrepit.
is 35, if I'm not mistaken.
That's almost Johnny Gallagher's status.
Hey,
man. Speaking of Johnny G, how about that guy, man?
Very
27
cool.
years. They've got some really cool T-shirts. Corey Ellis.
He dropped one off for you. I don't know what size you are, Rodney, but that's a large.
Yeah, I think, what was it? I think he had 27 professional GNCC seasons, 335 professional GNCC ATV starts, 153 XC1 top 10 finishes, 19 XC1 top 5 finishes, 4 XC1 podium finishes, and 1 overall that will obviously live in infamy for Walker Fowler, because that's the one that broke the perfect season for him. But man, what a lifetime of racing. 1996 to 2022. My first introduction to GNCC racing was Johnny Gallagher's first season as a pro.
That is so cool, man.
And we go out together, man. That is just amazing. That's crazy. But wow, Hunter Hart still in at least somewhat command of this one. Walker Fowler in the hunt as Adam McGill still holds steady and strong in that number 3 spot. Can Bryson Neal bridge more gap? Challenge for a podium, maybe even reel in the leaders. So many questions to be answered here today, and a whole lot more fun. Stick around. GNCC continues after this.
Last season was my best season ever by far. I won a lot of races. I won a championship, and it was also my first year using ARMA. And one of the things I noticed was just my ability to string good days together. You know, like especially in the summertime in Florida, where you're riding every day and the heat index is 108 degrees and you're doing 230s and going to the gym and bicycle and all that stuff. I think in the past I've been super inconsistent day to day. Yeah, I may have a good race here or a good day during the week there, but overall I think where I improved the most was my consistency in my recovery.
Canati Tires, a division of Greenball Corp, has been in the tire business for over 44 years. We're passionate about developing quality tires that perform great and bring extraordinary value to our customers. Whether you're looking for a tire that can handle your off-road adventures, need a reliable tire to take you from job site to job site, or simply want a tire with a beefier look that won't break the bank, then check out Canati Tires.
USMCA has been connecting riders to certified coaches since 2016. There are over 300 active certified coaches on motorcyclecoaching.org, and we recently launched our new mobile app, making it easy to connect with a coach and book your next training session. So here's what you do. Download the Motorcycle Coaching app, then search for coaches and upcoming classes. Once a training session is booked, riders have the option to pay for their class and even get a calendar reminder that will automatically sync to their phone. Get connected today.
Even when you're the best, you never stop striving to be better. With over 40 years of experience in motorcycle sales and service, we know racing. Our inventory of Yamaha motorcycles, sport bikes, dirt bikes, ATVs, and side-by-sides is extensive and constantly changing. Stop by LoJack Cycle Sales today in Tarentum, Pennsylvania, and visit our online inventory at www.lojacks.com. Yamaha YZs. It's why we ride.
How would you like to go to a school where we take into consideration how students learn best? Well, we do that. Because we find if we can build the curriculum around the things you are interested in, you're going to do a better job. The mission at On Track School is that educational success is possible while chasing your dreams. Not only will our staff help students to achieve success, they will cheer you on to the finish line. We encourage you to check out On Track School at ontrackschool.com, where we can help you chase your dreams and still get a quality education.
OnTrackSchool.com. Check it out.
Brown's RV Superstore is family owned and operated and stake their reputation on offering you the finest RVs available in their McBee, South Carolina RV dealership. Brown's RV Superstore carries motorhomes, fifth wheels, travel trailers, and toy haulers, and keep a huge inventory of new and used RVs in stock for you to choose from. They offer top dollar for your RV trade-in and help you get the RV financing you need. As a part of the GNCC family, Brown's RV Superstore, in partnership with Vengeance Toy Haulers, offers sponsorship packages for every level of racer with discounts and continued savings on your new toy hauler. Brown's RV Superstore has dedicated themselves to complete customer satisfaction, specializing in providing a positive start to your RV adventure. They look forward to customers coming back to share their tales from the road. Call Brown's RV Superstore today at 877-805-3658 or visit their website at brownsrvsuperstore.com, where family fun begins.
Hi, I'm Steve with Yamaha. I'm here with Rachel in Newmarket Elementary here in Crawfordsville, and we're super excited to be engaged in an all-kids bike giveaway. And what I mean by giveaway is with the help of the Yamaha Outdoor Access Initiative, we've partnered with All Kids Bike to afford the opportunity to donate 24 Strider bikes to the local community, to the local school, and it's a kindergarten class. And there's about 80 kids total, and these bikes will rotate through. And the whole goal is really to get them outside, and if not outside, inside on a bike. Really get them started on two wheels, get them some exercise, right? Get them off that screen. So Rachel's been kind enough to join us here at the Ironman GNCC. We're in the middle of putting these things together. Luckily, there's not too much to do, so even I can handle it. And so it's Friday. We'll get these all together. We've got guys from GBC, we've got Walker Fowler Racing back there, we've got Randy from AmPro, Rachel Pickens and her husband Jeff are struggling through a bike, not struggling, getting done really quick. So a lot of help to get these bikes built, and then on Monday we'll actually take them to the school, and with Rachel and Jennifer from Yamaha, they're going to be donating them, and hopefully we'll do that to an excited group of kids. And again, like I said, get them on two wheels, get them out, get them about, get them getting some exercise. So right now I'm going to exercise my brain and try and put this thing together, and then on Monday we'll put them in front of a bunch of kids ready to get on two wheels.
What a great opportunity that Yamaha and Service they are providing, taking the opportunity here at this Ironman, one of the biggest, well, probably likely the biggest GNCC, and may even be the biggest one in history even this year as it continues to grow each and every year. But these Strider machines are just great opportunities for kids to get the balance and learn to ride a bike. My grandson, who I got him one when he was not even 2, has been riding it since before he was 2 years old. And and just amazing on his. So
it's very cool. You get the fundamentals at a young age, and get the habits in, and get the balance, and get all that done. Get all that down. So
Mama thinks he's ready for the battery operated ones coming up. It's XC2 Pro-Am. We'll take a look at those guys. Brandon Owens leading right now by only 7 seconds over Steve Harrell. Dylan Walraven another 20 seconds back in third. Tanner Walker, who got off to a great start in fourth, another 16 seconds back. Chase Allison back there, 30 seconds back, rounding out the top 5. So nothing really tight going on with that. There's the College A class. As
James Glauda and Lane McCormick battling for a championship here today.
Wow, where is McCormick in this?
I do not see him. That is unfortunate for McCormick.
Yeah, unless he's having a transponder issue or something like that.
Fingers crossed.
And you know, this is a class that we kind of keep an eye on out here, to be honest with you, Cody, because these are some of the next up-and-comers. They go into the XC2 Pro-Am class. That's where we get to see them blossom even more. And then, of course, it's one of the stepping stones coming from youth, going to the schoolboy class, and you hit College A and XC2. It's just one of the stepping stones. So those that shine bright in that class are going. And it's a highly competitive class too.
Oh, absolutely. All young kids, and they're all hungry and want to make a point and prove themselves, and they all want to progress just as bad.
So watching our times again, graphics, Dan. I think you're probably responsible for that. Good job. I like those. All that information being afforded the viewers out there keeps them in tune with what's going on. Now, here's some of the issues with the approach to Ironman Hill. You think that Ironman Hill might be an obstacle in and of itself, and it is, as I believe only the A and Pro classes are really allowed to go up the Ironman Hill.
PM race.
In the PM race. And then B, aren't they diverted around?
Yeah.
I think they're diverted, but regardless, on the approach coming up to that, if you get something like that going on, there's not much room to get around. I mean, that's about one of the only ways up out of that creek, unless you really start searching down the creek a little further.
Yeah, I hope a bunch of people don't have issues at the same time. There's probably 4 or 5 lines to get up out of that creek, but some of them limit your drive to hit Ironman Hill, so you got to, hit your line and be aware of getting up the next challenge as well. So it's kind of a 2-part issue. You drag all that water from the creek up the hill, and it gets nastier and nastier and nastier as the day goes on.
Absolutely, and it gets dug up, and roots begin to expose, rocks begin to expose, and it starts to get a little shifty on one side or the other. It's really interesting to see the development of what this hill climb and these hill climbs are like over the course of the day. And this is not the only one. You've got several hill climbs that are somewhat challenging out on the course. I know Twin Hills has always been a notable hill that a lot of folks really enjoy.
Twin Hills, and then they added one straight across the creek from Twin Hills. There's like an option hill that they left in for the AM race. Here's Walker Fowler in the lead, it looks like. I didn't see Hunter Hart come through. It looks like Walker in the lead. Awesome stuff here. This is so Hunter Hart. This is right after that hill where I was talking about, where you get that split option.
Out here,
very dusty, as you can see. They're checked.
Monster Mile, the 9-mile marker, this section. Tell us a little bit about this section. There with our front 2 runners, it was again Walker Fowler out front, the number 2 of Hunter Hart running in the number 2 position. Now we're waiting on 3rd, and what a gap we've got that is being opened up here today. And there he is, the 3rd place ride. It is still Adam McGill back in the number 3 spot, and I'm not sure, but we're probably close to a minute or so as far as separation between 2nd and 3rd place position. And that means even further back forward now, the number 241 of Bryson Neal, who is in that 4th place position. Don't really look like he's gained any time on the 521 of the Gator either.
No, and look at this, Junior up to 5th place and closing in on Bryson.
I wonder what happened to who's that, Cole Richardson?
Cole Richardson, yeah. But Junior made the pass on Cole and is closing in on Bryson. I was talking to Junior before the race, and he's actually running his moto bike out here today.
Oh, really?
Yeah, running the wider bike, 50-inch bike, and making it work.
I guess, and it almost kind of makes sense with maybe the conditions of the course. Is that why you opted to do that?
After this, we run this track twice a year. Been running it for the last 20 years or whatever now, and a lot of the track's blown out and it's wide, and he thinks he can make it work, and he's making it work out there today, closing in on Bryson Neal out here.
Now, how much of a difference is that really? I mean, whenever you take into consideration a moto bike and a woods bike setup.
It's the little things and how the track develops. It's all Cole without a visor. got Cole Richardson without a visor.
That could explain a little bit.
Yeah, why we dropped off there. But no, it's just little things. You know, see how the ruts here are built? They're all built for that, 47, 48-inch build.
Absolutely.
And with that 50-inch bike he's got, he might be able to just miss all the holes.
So
and the way he can set up in and out of the corners, and it's the little things.
And ride those edges, so his track actually becomes a little bit wider than everyone else's.
Yep. So he's staying like, he's missing the holes, the centers of the holes where their ruts are. He's wider than he's missing most of those holes.
Wow, so pretty ingenious, I think. Has it been anything that anybody's ever really tried before and had success with?
Not really. It's tough, but certain tracks will work here and there, but a lot of tracks will have like 3 or 4 spots where it's really tight, and that 50-inch bike would just kill you. And, he looked at the track yesterday, and he's like, we're running it.
Well, it seems to be working for him, and we'll see if it works out through the entirety of this one as we check in with our leaders now at the 10-mile marker. It is still Walker Fowler and Hunter Hart running 1 and 2 as they race toward the completion of the second lap of racing. And even dry and dusty in the woods as Mikey Waynes, a local native to Crawfordsville, talks about how dry it has been here in recent weeks with no rain. It's been great for the farmers and being able to get their crops in and so forth. But Neil looks like he might have gained a little bit of time there on
McGill. That was less than 10 seconds.
Yeah,
sure.
that
and Junior there. He's on a mission today on that moto bike.
So I don't know whether maybe the 521 of Adam McGill had an issue, it slowed him down, or whether Bryson Nils just kind of clicked it up a gear or two here. Maybe he, you might think about it from the standpoint of, maybe he is riding back a little bit, or maybe that bad start's kind of gotten into his head, and he's finally shaking that and putting his head down and making the charge, getting a little more familiar with the race course.
Yeah, it could just be made a bobble in a corner. A couple corners just didn't line up right. Missed. Maybe Bryson had a great line, and you know what Bryson and them guys are capable of when they're on their best. Maybe he just put a good section together and was able to close it down. Make it happen through the dust for sure. Yeah, these guys are checked out, so waiting on Cole Richardson, our 6th place rider, to check in. Might be having a bike issue or a physical issue he's trying to shake out as he gets back going after you've seen him without a visor on the last shot. Waiting on him, and I noticed that a couple XC2 guys in the top 10, that Bowens and Stephen Harrell battle, looked like they were in like the 7th, 8th, 9th on that first lap.
Yeah,
so
right now.
Interesting to see where they sit after lap 2.
I know, that's kind of interesting too, especially whenever we take into consideration we have one of the larger XC1 rows that we've had in a while. 15 riders starting today's XC1 Pro class, including newcomer or 2 out there. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, White Wilkins second up, and Jay Shad back, and making it interesting. Okay.
Absolutely, be interesting to see where they stack up here as the day progresses.
That looked like Abney there, from what I could see, after Cole. Might be wrong on that. It was just a small shot.
Let's see where everyone stood there at the end of that first lap.
Matt's Volkin, and then I think Boric was. I think they both got around Boric. That looked like a lapper there. I think it might have been a Ronnie Rush.
Man, dry as it can be out there. We got the maracas. Is that what that's called?
I have an out and about race report. Didn't expect to have one, but here we are. I got a maraca. Listen, I don't know if that came over, but found one of the Bryce and Neil faithful there, and we commandeered one of the maracas, so we're going to be running a party with them. And hopefully my mic is working.
Yeah, it's working.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Yeah. Not now, it isn't. Try now.
How about now? Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Try it again. Not now.
I'm cutting it too bad.
All right, there you just don't move it.
Okay, nobody move. Everybody hold your breath. Whole new meaning to bated breath here, Rodney. But yeah, there's your race report. I got a maraca. So did we steal the good luck charm, or did we help? I don't know.
Well, we'll find out.
Yeah. All right, into the pits. Walker Fowler getting some fuel. Some freshies. and back to work. I got to say, I love, really kind of like IndyCar, NASCAR style pit stop, pit road there.
That's different. It's cool.
It is a little different. I like that.
I
like that. It's kind of a split section, so if you're not pitting, you keep to the left, and then you literally have a pit road that, hey, if you're pitting, this is where you're heading. And, man, are we waiting.
Yeah, those guys 30-plus seconds out for sure. We were thinking more 45-plus, maybe to a minute on Adam McGill and them guys. So they are on a mission today. There's Adam McGill, third-place rider. So that's definitely over 30 seconds, I think.
Wowzers.
So
what Neil in fourth still.
Now, here he's coming in for a pit stop. I mean, you got to wonder. I still don't know whether he's pushing it or whether he's just kind of laying back right now. I mean, because at times he looks to be aggressive. He just got passed by somebody. I don't know if that was a lap rider getting by or what, but someone gets by there. And but again, I'm just kind of blown away by this whole scenario that, I'm used to seeing a little more aggression out of him, but, at times you think you're seeing that, but I don't know. I can't tell today.
It's different, that's for sure. Not something we're used to seeing from Bryson Neal, like you said, but
in championship mode, trying to just no big risk and just trying to get through the day, trying to do what he thinks he needs to do. So see how it plays out for him at the end of the day.
4.6 seconds separating Walker Fowler and Hunter Hart as they check in through the finish line. That's another one of those battles. Obviously, Hunter was out front there for a while. It stretched out and it tightened back up. Hunter had fallen back, and now he's tight back to Walker. So it's another good race shaping up. It's not quite the throw a blanket over the top five race that we were looking at last week, but man, we've got some pretty cool things that are unfolding as far as this final round of GNCC is concerned. So McGill in, Bryson Neal, 1.9 seconds. Now that was evidently Adam McGill getting by, so he must have had a little longer pit stop than what he had wanted, because that gap was tightening up, but it's down to 2 seconds as they come through the finish line. So Neal just a couple of seconds out of a podium position ride at this particular moment, and we wait right now and for the update to check in to see what's going on back there with the 733 of Cole Richardson and the rest of the field. John Glada is checked in now in the number 5 position, just 12 seconds behind Bryson Neal. So Richardson obviously saw that he had dropped back. Chris Borge actually running a pretty solid run there on lap number 1 in 7th place position on the racetrack. Again, my apologies. I skipped right over him in the opening ceremonies today.
As Ronnie Rush, I believe, with some trouble in the pits. Didn't look like the fuel was flowing through. I think he finally got some in there, but it certainly wasn't a big drink of fuel.
Yeah, and with the, 54, 53 at the end of 2 laps, we might look at like a 4-lap race up for these guys out here today. We had 5 laps this morning, so.
Yeah, you guys were turning and burning.
Oh, it was for 2-3 corners and you hit a lapper. For 2-3 corners and you hit a lapper.
Boy, that didn't take long right there. Bryson Neal up to 3rd now as we check in at the 1-mile marker here at the FMF PowerPoint. And a little bit about that particular, the PowerPoint. Looks like a steep little climb, but looks like you got a good run and everything's dry coming up to that one.
Yeah. Just, keep your momentum, stay out of the powder, and keep your momentum, keep the wheels moving.
Keep moving forward, that's for sure, as we watch our riders traversing this open field section, recently cultivated because of the wonderful dry conditions here in Indiana.
It has been too.
Yeah, like I'm saying, that stuff on the outside is just 2-foot thick powder.
Look at you're so seeing blue groove out there.
Yeah, the way that this dirt's breaking down, it is just. They haven't seen rain in like 2 months. Hunter is close. That's awesome to see, closing in on Walker. But yeah, it's powder out here today.
That and blue groove in some of those turns. I just can't. I mean, that's kind of like Duke Boy stuff going on out there, man. word. You could hear the tires chirping around those turns.
Dirt bikes will have fun tomorrow.
Dude, that's like packed concrete at this point. My goodness.
Yeah, and then if you try going the berm, it's like I said, it's 2-foot powder. You can't use the berm at all. You're just going to be in the blue groove skating the whole time. Not trying to get all the way inside or outside of it to get any traction for the bikes tomorrow.
I just wonder if manicuring it like a motocross track would be.
Yeah, like get a tiller out here. I want to see why
only
not.
they had some equipment.
If
for
only
that
they
out
knew
here.
how to do that, right? And they had the equipment to make that happen. Oh my! Wait a minute. We are.
That's right.
Everyone tomorrow would appreciate it. I promise you that.
And we're not starting any rumors by no stretch of the imagination right now. Just want to let everybody know that. So, man, Neil looking over his shoulder there, trying to figure out where fourth place ride is. There is Adam McGill still in the number 4 spot.
Where's Junior? There he is. Maybe he had issues in dust, dropped off base in a section or two, but still cooking.
So is that what everybody calls him around the pits? Is Junior? Is that what he gets?
That's what I call him.
That's what
we've been friends for years. I just call him Junior.
Well, there's only like
because his dad's always around.
Yeah.
Like, I've been around, I'm around them all the time. I just call him Junior.
Yeah, it's easier.
Yeah, for me.
He stands at 6'10".
Looks like a lapper.
By the way, Rodney, I don't know if you saw this, but last night Alicia McCormick and Big Sexy sent me some Snapchats, and Jeff Hart actually showed up as Sasquatch last night.
That's pictures
it was
I had
beautiful.
for you.
It was beautiful. No kidding?
I have pictures.
That's fantastic. Yeah, let's see those pictures of Jeff Hart dressed as Sasquatch. So
you have to give them to Adam Gordon so you can get them up on screen there for us.
Oh, Lordy. Are they safe? Are they safe to share? Oh, they're absolutely safe.
Oh, my gosh.
Dude,
Airdrop that to Gordon in there. We text it to Adam or
Adam Gordon's number is 555.
Wow. So watching, and this great action, what was really cool, Tyler Farr stepping in just a few moments ago. Just blown away.
Back, man.
He was blown away with what we got going on. I think he's going to dig it. It's like I told him. I said, you're going to want to come back here. It's what you're going to want.
sure.
And, man, I tell you, I don't know, but is this the biggest? I mean, I've seen. Seems like more people. I mean, you say that every year, but I have to think there's a lot of people here, and it seems like more. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's the weather. I don't know, but wow, that starting line.
Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I just went, and my wife just showed up at the track, and I jumped out to what I thought would be 2 minutes to get her back here, and it was literally me riding there, riding her here, but it took that long. Look at that battle on screen right there.
Wow.
Chris Borich out in front right there. Hanging on. Hey, there's that blue groove he was talking about. My goodness.
Chris still got it, though.
I was going to say, old man still got some good defensive riding skills right there, at least for the moment.
I think he let him by, though. I mean,
yeah, announcer curse.
Well, no, I think Chris is of the mindset right now. He realizes that the rider might be a little faster. He might be able to key off of him and keep that pace, and maybe they might be able to make up some gap. And he might be thinking, hey, I don't want to hold this guy up, and I don't feel comfortable pushing that hard right now. I mean, there's a lot of scenarios that could be shaping up for the 75-time winner, Chris Borich. Man,
it's pretty incredible. You look at his win total, and Walker, I think just 2 away. I think he's got 73.
Is he up to 73?
73 or 72.
I know.
I look at cheat sheet, but if you'd have told me at the beginning of the season, I honestly probably would have said, yeah, he's going to at least tie him this year.
Yeah.
Some dude named Bryson Neal said,
Absolutely.
Not yet.
Yeah, definitely. We had some shakeups with that, and I'll tell you, a lot of people may be scratching their heads. Many others may be jumping for joy because they know that they are excited about what might be on the verge of happening. A new champion to be crowned in GNCC racing, which could spark even more greater things in the future. Because, man, if Walker Fowler loses this one, he's going to come back with a vengeance. But he ain't lost yet. Stick around to find out how this one shakes out. GNCC Live continues from the Ironman after this.
Division 2. So we need bikes and staging right now, college. Boys 16 to 24.
We all have our reasons to accomplish, to work hard. We share a common goal, to be the best. Keep fighting, put in the work, never take the easy way. Your drive and determination fuels our passion.
Born of family values and a homegrown work ethic, Kinetic Gaskets seals your machine so you can focus on the finish line. Kinetic Gaskets are the competitive standard for racers who demand the very best. Kinetic Gaskets are constructed from superior materials designed to perform in the most demanding environment, whether it's championships on the line or a day in the dirt with friends. Professionals and enthusiasts depend on Kinetic. Kinetic Gaskets, sealing championships since 1989.
AMSOIL runs on freedom and has since 1972. We punish our products firsthand in our world-class laboratories and beyond, because some things can't be learned from a test tube. Run with us.
Ben Kelly here, 2021 GNCC champion. Subscribe to Racer X and get yourself a fresh FMF t-shirt.
This week in Yamaha history takes us back to the 2005 Ironman GNCC. The pink race was born that year, and Johnny Gallagher donned a pink tutu to celebrate. It was lots of fun and laughs before the seriousness got underway. It was the age of Yamaha's Bill Balance and his 9 straight championships. GNCC greats and production ATV pioneers like Matt Smiley, Brian Cook, Brian Baker, Chris Jinks, Santo DeRisi, and Chad Duvall were just a few of the day's top stars. As the race began, all could tell it was going to be a long and challenging race. Conditions for the 10-year celebration of the event started out with what many may consider near perfect. As the race wore on and the riders worked the lines, it was obvious that things were soft and muddy, and only got softer. Bill Balance had taken the lead on lap 1 and appeared to be looking for his 6th win of the season. Visiting AMA Pro ATV Motocross champion John Natale trailed by only 3 seconds, followed by Chris Borch and William Yoakley in 4th. By the end of lap 2, Yoakley had moved into the lead with Balance back in 3rd and Natale hot on the heels of Yoakley. By the end of lap 3 of 5, the Yamaha-mounted Bill Balance had latched on to Yoakley, riding no further than 2 seconds behind until the last lap, where he lost time trying to make a pass on Yoakley for the win in the closing moments. William Yoakley captured the checkers and the victory on that day, etching his name in the GNCC history pages forever. And that's this week in Yamaha history.
And we're back. We're back. I can hear Adam, the producer, had the headset laying on. Rodney! But yes, we are live here at the Ironman GNCC, folks. It is a light atmosphere for us here in the booth, but it is all business right now out here on this racetrack as Bryson Neal has moved up into the number 3 spot. More than securing his championship now, I think, at this particular point. And a big gap has amassed between second and third place position. Now, it leads one to wonder what is going to happen now. Is Bryson going to be satisfied there? Are we going to see him try to make a little bit of a push there to bridge that gap, to maybe make a statement and put that explanation point on this championship? Or is he just going to ride it out and do it in a safer manner as possible? You know, I mean, both sides of the coin. I know Bryson's a racer and that racer mentality, but I also know he's a smart thinker. But I also know sometimes everything that you think can go out the window at certain moments in pressure situations.
Yeah, maybe if he got that start today, you will see him go for the win. But after the start he had, having to come through the pack, find himself in third place here, just over halfway through this race, I think he's just going to find a pace he likes and he's comfortable with and just stick with that. Whatever pace got him into third position, you know, he just won't carry that for the rest of the day and see where that puts him. And he knows he's got 1 point gap, 1 position gap. He doesn't. No one's probably going to be running him down. Junior kept him honest there for a minute, but even if something like that were to happen, he's got that 1 position to deal with, and he knows he's sitting in a good place, just going to ride his race out, carry his pace.
Well, watching here at the 9-mile marker again, the Monster Miles, we watch the track continue to develop, and that powdery berm that Cody keeps referring to continues to build on the outside edges of this race course, and it only gets worse as the race wears on. And you know, I guess that sometimes you can use it to an advantage if you've got a rider behind you and you want to kind of put some dirt in his face or something. But I mean, in all honesty, you kind of want to stay out of that, because if you get in it and it happens to suck up into your, it can make for some pretty big fits as far as keeping that motor running smoothly.
Yeah, I actually hit a berm out in the field today. Knocked probably the top 5-6 inches off this berm with the 4x4, and the wind was blowing so hard it smacked me in the face coming the other way. So you can definitely make some dust out there.
Well, Mikey. All right, so yeah, here's that picture we were talking about with Jeff Hart being dressed as Sasquatch.
That's beautiful. I mean, that is just a beautiful sight. He stands 7'2". You know, we joke about it. He seriously gets across the track like faster than anybody I've ever seen. Yeah, it'll be like camera shot number 7, then it's camera shot number 1. He's somehow there already.
And he's taking half the steps that everyone else takes. He does lumber along like a Sasquatch through the woods too. It's funny. So I believe, are we waiting on our leaders right now, Adam? Yes. So waiting on the leaders here. Look at that. So look at the pink pajamas that he's got. He might have even been the Energizer Bunny. One thing that folks may or may not recognize and realize about the Ironman GNCC, this is our pink race. This is the one that we do for breast cancer awareness. A lot of fundraisers going on to help organizations in and around Montgomery County and even nationally as far as breast cancer research is concerned. And it's kind of our way as a GNCC Racing Nation to be able to give back. So you see, you know, a lot of folks that you see that have the pink number plate backgrounds and things like that, portions of those proceeds all get donated. T-shirts that are sold here on site, and believe me, there are thousands of those. There's literally tens of thousands of folks that make their way through the gates here on the weekend. So, you know, and I'll tell you, all that money, almost every dime of that stays locally.
Yeah, what's cool about that, I had actually seen somebody had asked online, like, hey, how do we know where this money goes? Because it was something about kind of vague, like just goes to Montgomery County something. And I researched it because we did that the mullet contest a couple years ago, and I had those same questions. You know, I wanted to make sure, I think everybody, when you donate money, you should know exactly where it's going. And I can vouch for that it does go to to women for testing here locally and transportation to and from appointments, there is Walker Fowler on screen.
So as Walker Fowler makes his way by, interestingly, another champion of GNCC, Caleb Russell's in booth, lends me to wonder right here what maybe Walker is thinking, but it's hard to ask someone like Caleb because he's never been in this position or situation. He wouldn't know how it felt.
I was like, hey, you want to call some racing? He's like, I just want to be able to watch and not be coated in dust. I was like, all right, come on in.
Absolutely. Glad to have you in here. But, it is funny, I thought about that question. There's not many like Caleb out there, that's for sure. And, Walker kind of enjoyed that superiority over the rest of the riders until the last couple of seasons, obviously. And it certainly made things interesting for him and for us and for all the racers and race fans, I think, out there. And to see the kind of life that we've seen breathed into these racers this year, it's been kind of exciting. Not taking anything away from Walker's dominance by no stretch of the imagination, but to see those other guys rising to the occasion like they are is amazing.
Caleb just got out while he was still on top when no one could touch him still. He just dominated for a decade and just got out while he was still on top. How much longer was he
going to have to wait before somebody could, though?
He just got bored with it.
But, so
yeah, doing some cool stuff overseas, doing the Romaniacs or Erzberg.
How was that?
He led qualifying day one, top time in qualifying.
Hey, he said he wanted to chill.
I want to know about Erzberg.
No, he's definitely one of the greatest to do it on dirt bike. On
you can tell. I want to know about Erzberg, man. We don't have to talk about it on air, but I want to know about Erzberg at some point because that sounds like that would be an experience, to say the least.
Oh, no doubt.
And he led.
Ridiculous.
An hour and 13 minutes into this race right now, and our leader here, Walker Fowler, still I believe it is the number 2 of Hunter Hart, showing some glimpses of a very hungry rider. And you have to think at this point in the season, and I'm sure you've been like this yourself growing up through the ranks, and you feel the momentum beginning to build, and you get at this point in the season, you feel like you're at the peak performance, and it's the end of the season at this point. You don't want it to end right now.
I definitely relate to that this year, it's trying to, you're just trying to build your abilities as a rider, just trying to make you the best rider you can be race in and race out. And whenever there is, this 5-6 month wall in there, you might not be able to go ride in the down south and be able to stay in tune with those fundamentals, and might lose some of it.
And then even if you do, are you doing enough? Are you doing too much in one area? It's a science. It has turned into, like we've talked about so much, a science to get it done right, and to get it figured out is the key thing right there.
Yeah, just knowing what you need. Knowing what you need to work on, listen to yourself, and be like, okay, I struggle here, struggle there.
And on top of that, the discipline to be,
yourself.
and to be able to discipline yourself enough to be able to follow the program day in and day out.
Yeah.
Even whenever you feel like you can't do any better, you still got to stay on that program. There's Neil coming through now, getting the pit board. So he's still running within a minute or so, I think, of those front 2 runners out there. But again, right where he needs to be. He's got the championship lock, stock, and barrel. If the checkers were to come out on this one, we've got 2 laps complete, and I would assume that when we come around, I think we're looking at 27-minute lap time. So
white flag coming out.
I would hope they win at 75 laps. It's rough out there. That dust is brutal.
Hey, we got live concerts tonight.
We got live concert. We got youth motorcycle racing coming up. So I would almost have to bank on this being a.
Adam McGill's got a party tonight. He just went on the screen right there.
No. Wait a minute. He's not partying tonight. Remember?
Soft Gator. I'm calling you out, man.
He's having a pretty remarkable ride.
He's having a great ride. Hey, like we call it silly season, right? Want to end the season on a good note, and I think that's exactly what looks like Adam McGill's trying to do here to finish out 2022.
Who was that 426? Was that?
Lapper.
Okay.
Lapper here on screen.
Mm-hmm.
No, that was Daniel Peters. Yeah, he's a lap down in the XC2 Pro-Am class, so he's having some problems.
Yeah, I'm digging the pro pits.
Right?
I love the Indy NASCAR style right there. You can
right.
dip in. It's really cool. And they got to be happy about it. I was kind of surprised to see the pro pits back at what is pro motocross pits with it being gravel. It's like buckshot when they fire out of there. So kudos to those guys in the pits. Wouldn't be shocked at all to see mechanics down there with goggles on. But hey, they're living it.
Maybe a chest protector.
That's right. That's it.
Mouth guard. 12-mile marker now, waiting on leaders again. You know, again, a far cry different. I mean, remember the intensity of what we were watching 2 weeks ago, as opposed to what we're seeing now. Again, a lot of different variables. You know, I mean, we've got a different style track, obviously, different conditions altogether with the dust and things of that nature. And I think the scenario is a little different as well, with it being the last race. So, I mean, a lot of variables to factor in on this one, but still a little bit of a surprise to me that we do have the gap that we have between second and third right now.
Yeah, just Walker and Hunter were able to get away in the dust. Migo was able to put down a good pace. Just they were on a mission. Bryson, some of the top contenders, got a bad start and had to pick their way through the pack. And with the dust, it's hard to do. It's hard to even see the split lines with the dust we had today. So you're kind of just following a helmet, so it's hard to even see where to split off.
I think Hunter Hart needs this ride today. He needs a really good finish ride. He's had some good finishes this year, but he's definitely had more rounds this year where he was not happy with himself, and I can't remember what round it was. It was somewhere at the midway point of the year. I remember talking to Hunter, and we were kind of teasing each other back and forth at that point, but I got real serious, and I was like, dude, what's going on? Because you should be there battling with Walker. Walker taking another pit stop here, maybe a little quick splash of fuel. Make sure he can bring this thing home. Hey, he's got the time. Why not? But Hunter Hart said, man, right now at that midway point, whatever round it was, I'm just not comfortable running those speeds that Walker and Bryson are putting on out there. I've got to figure out how to get over that. And I think as the season progressed, especially after summer break, it looks like Hunter Hart has found some more of that speed to be able to be up there contending with these guys for podiums, and hopefully next year maybe contending for some wins too.
Yeah, I grew up with Hunter, seeing him progress over the years has been great. Now he's just he's starting to figure it out. He's so young, he's still.
That's true.
21,
That's very
22.
true.
He's just figuring it out, and these guys are at the top of their game. They've had info pass down from Boric, and now Walker's figured it out, and Bryson's learning off Walker, and Hart's learning off them guys. So,
but he
is figuring it out.
And here's the thing to point out is the fact that the next long era of championships could very well belong to Walker Fowler on the ATV side of things.
I mean, Hunter Hart.
Yeah. Hunter Hart, yeah.
I mean, entirely. But hey, Bryson Neal going to get him a splash of fuel now.
2-lap card is out on this one.
So it was 2-lap card?
Yeah.
Hey, we're going to send them. All right.
Yep, 2-lap card is out, so they are going to go 5 laps on this one. I wondered. I knew it was going to be kind of tight there.
Yeah, I mean, they did check in right there, probably when Walker came through, about, 119-ish?
Yeah, 119, just under 120.
That explains the extra splash of fuel.
All right, Cody Collier, what goes through your head in this moment? You're kind of hoping for the white flag. You're hoping for a 4-lap race. You check in. Now suddenly you got to go out there and do an extra lap, air quotes on that.
So you're in the lead, and you're like, all right, I want a white flag this lap. I just want one more lap.
Son of a gun.
I keep doing what I'm doing for one lap. I can, mentally, you're like, one more lap. Let's see what happens. I can do it, and you get the 2-lap card. You're like, I gotta do this 2 more laps. Yeah. Perfect. Just don't mess up. It's that easy. Yeah. Just don't mess up if you're in my situation. It's just trying to just be consistent and be mentally aware for 2 extra laps as the track develops, and the bad luck, it's 2 more laps of maybe having something out of your hands happen, and trying to get through that, but being aware.
But the thing about it is, we've been kind of conditioned this season because we've had this happen several times. We've talked about this on several different occasions, more so it seems like this year than in seasons past. So maybe not so far out of the realm this time around, because like I said, we've had this scenario shape up a few more times, it seems like, this season. So these guys are a little more conditioned than what they may have been, say, a couple of years ago or a season or so ago.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, everyone's in peak fitness too right now. This is the last race of the year. You know, they're in peak form. Everyone should be in peak form right now, unless they got a little something going on. But this is it. And Hunter and Walker running away with it, and you know, Bryson's in championship mode, or else we would definitely see him being up there with those two. But you know, it's everyone. This is pretty much what we've seen all year. Junior and you know that Feehan Cole kind of mixing it up. Adam McGill's having a great ride, and you know hopefully this is something we can look forward to for next year for him. But seeing a lot of the same from all year.
Well, I tell you right now, 12.5 seconds separating first and second, another 53.7 back to Bryson Hill, which puts him just a little over a minute or so out of first place contention. But again, doesn't need to be there. He's right where he needs to be to win this championship, and not letting that racer's mentality overcome him to try to bridge that gap. You see him riding a good, steady, fast pace, but he's not riding that ragged edge like he's trying to bridge gaps or anything. But certainly if something happens up front, the pace that he's running right now will close the gap pretty quick. Nice shot of the field section once again here with a Yamaha live drone. Thanks again to Yamaha Racing, our title sponsor here at the Ironman this 2022 season, and a big part of it. I know some celebrations in store for Johnny G today, I believe. Later on, I'm pretty excited, man. I mean, it's kind of a bittersweet thing, but you know, I got my first taste of GNCC racing the season that he began his XC1 career, his pro career, and of course I leave with him. So no, amazing. I mean, just to have the longevity that he's had.
Pretty incredible. Rodney, you were talking yesterday about some of your favorite memories, and one of mine, and I don't have near the years you do, okay? So this is, 6 years we've been calling races together, and for me, still one of my favorite moments was my first year, watching Walker Fowler, which is another point after I'm done with this one, but the race X Factor 2017, Johnny Gallagher taking that win.
Yeah.
And, you know, I was still new kid on the block. I don't remember what round, I think it was round 5, 6, something like that. But, you know, my job was, hey, Mikey, we're throwing you to the wolves. We got you down on the podium interviewing the pros. I was scared to death. But that race, Rodney, we're in the TV booth. Rodney looks at me and he goes, you're going to sit your butt right here and you're going to call the end of this because I'm going. I want to talk to Johnny Gallagher on the podium. Just a really cool moment. That's been one of my favorite memories was that Johnny,
Definitely.
I was about to say Johnny Walker. That's a totally different thing. That Johnny Gallagher win over Walker Fowler that kept Walker from getting that perfect season, and rightfully so.
That, and I think 2004, that is a great one. 2014 ATV race between Walker Fowler and Chris Borch. It looked like Walker had the championship in the bag, and it was a winner-take-all affair basically between those two. Right down literally to the last corner where Chris Borch stole it away, gave probably one of the greatest Borches you ever seen in the history of Borching, and that kind of ended the era for Chris at that particular point. You know, he got a few more wins after that, but it's not been the same. Walker's been so dominant since that particular point, and not saying that he doesn't still have those dominating characteristics, but to see what the level of competition has risen to is really exciting for the future of the sport.
And piggybacking off of that, you know, Walker Fowler right now, hey, if it were to end right now, the race isn't done. We're not crowning a champion yet, but if it does come to an end, at least for a moment, because Walker I don't think is going anywhere, he'll come back and compete. But Rodney, I can't help but think of those first few years, and it was the Walker Fowler show, and it was the Caleb Russell show, and you get some fans out there that sometimes they get frustrated. And
how many times I've been yelled at for talking about Caleb Russell? How many times can you say Caleb's name? Well, you can't help it. How many times can you say Walker Fowler's name?
Bingo.
And we're going to get accused of that with Bryson Neal. We're going to get accused of that with Hunter Hart. We're gonna, you know, it's just going to keep on
I mean,
going.
you got to talk about what's on screen for sure, and you got to talk about the here and now. But to this day, we still talk about Caleb Russell and the things that he did on a motorcycle. When Walker Fowler walks away, I guarantee you we talk about the things he did on a four-wheeler. And, you know, a lot of those same people that the keyboard warriors that talk about, I'm sick of hearing the name Walker Fowler, I'm sick of hearing the name Caleb Russell, they're the same ones 10 years from now that were like, man, I was at Ironman and I saw him whip up on these guys. So, hey, when you're good, you're good. And you get talked about. I don't know how else to put it.
Well, I mean, that's the double-edged sword of being successful. You know, it truly is. And definitely got some great, successful folks in this championship series, no doubt. And we've got more of those to come, and they continue to build them. As right now, Bryson Neal trying to build his own legacy of GNCC racing. As we continue to roll now through with 2 laps of racing left to go. Who's going to come out on top of this one? That's not really the big question. Can Bryson Neal hang on to it, at least that 4th place position to win the championship? Stick around to find out. GNCC continues after this.
Last season was my best season ever by far. I won a lot of races. I won a championship, and it was also my first year using ARMA. And one of the things I noticed was just my ability to string good days together. You know, like especially in the summertime in Florida where you're riding every day and the heat index is 108 degrees and you're doing 230s and going to the gym and bicycle and all that stuff. I think in the past I've been super inconsistent day to day. Yeah, I may have a good race here or a good day during the week there, but overall I think where I improved the most was my consistency and my recovery.
Hi, my name is Jody Gordon. I'm an independent AMSOIL dealer. I'm working here at the GNCC Ironman at Ironman Raceway. Traditionally, we always do real well with the motorcycle and ATV oil, but today's featured product is going to be our small engine oil. And this is oil that most of the generators around here take. And you wouldn't believe how much generator oil we sell here. People come and their generator won't start and they realize it's low on oil because most of these generators have a safety feature that won't let them start when they're low on oil so it doesn't hurt the engine. But it's probably my 3rd best-selling product here just because there's so many campers. And this is a full synthetic small engine oil. It's commercial grade. It's actually got a drain interval up to 200 hours. So it lasts you the whole season typically. So yeah, that's our 3rd best-selling product here at Ironman this year.
Knotty Tires, a division of Greenball Corp, has been in the tire business for over 44 years. We're passionate about developing quality tires that perform great and bring extraordinary value to our customers. Whether you're looking for a tire that can handle your off-road adventures, need a reliable tire to take you from job site to job site, or simply want a tire with a beefier look that won't break the bank, then check out Knotty Tires.
USMCA has been connecting riders to certified coaches since 2016. There are over 300 active certified coaches on motorcyclecoaching.org, and we recently launched our new mobile app, making it easy to connect with a coach and book your next training session. So here's what you do. Download the Motorcycle Coaching app, then search for coaches and upcoming classes. Once a training session is booked, riders have the option to pay for their class and even get a calendar reminder that will automatically sync to their phone. Get connected today.
Even when you're the best, you never stop striving to be better. With over 40 years of experience in motorcycle sales and service, we know racing. Our inventory of Yamaha motorcycles, sport bikes, dirt bikes, ATVs, and side-by-sides is extensive and constantly changing. Stop by LoJack Cycle Sales today in Tarentum, Pennsylvania, and visit our online inventory at www.lojacks.com. Yamaha YZs. It's why we ride.
How would you like to go to a school where we take into consideration how students learn best? Well, we do that because we find if we can build the curriculum around the things you are interested in, you're going to do a better job. The mission at On Track School is that educational success is possible while chasing your dreams. Not only will our staff help students to achieve success, they will cheer you on to the finish line. We encourage you to check out On Track School at ontrackschool.com, where we can help you chase your dreams and still get a quality education.
OnTrackSchool.com. Check it out.
Brown's RV Superstore is family owned and operated and stake their reputation on offering you the finest RVs available in their McBee, South Carolina RV dealership. Brown's RV Superstore carries motorhomes, fifth wheels, travel trailers, and toy haulers, and keep a huge inventory of new and used RVs in stock for you to choose from. They offer top dollar for your RV trade-in and help you get the RV financing you need. As a part of the GNCC family, Brown's RV Superstore, in partnership with Vengeance Toy Haulers, offers sponsorship packages for every level of racer with discounts and continued savings on your new toy hauler. Brown's RV Superstore has dedicated themselves to complete customer satisfaction, specializing in providing a positive start to your RV adventure. They look forward to customers coming back to share their tales from the road. Call Brown's RV Superstore today at 877-805-3658 or visit their website at brownsrvsuperstore.com, where family fun begins. And welcome back to GNCC Live here on RacerTV.com. Rodney Tomlin along with Mikey Waynes and your 4x4 Pro ATV champion Cody Collier in booth with us calling today. And of course, as we take a look at things, you know, we keep talking about the points breakdown and how things are breaking down. As you see there, 307 points to 295. You do the math on that, so that's 12 points. If you look at how it breaks down as far as positions are concerned, you see right there what it's going to take for Walker Fowler to win the championship away from Bryson Neal. Right now he is looking at 18 points for that fourth place position, but I think he's up to third now, so that would actually give him 21 points, and so that would basically put him in the out and out win. Now if we get in this situation where he sees that we've got Bryson Neal in fourth and Walker Fowler takes the win, the championship, because the championship points are tied at 325 at this particular point. Based on overall wins, the championship then would be going to Bryson Neal, because Bryson, I believe, has like 7 wins, if I'm not mistaken, so far this season. And that's where the big thing is. 8 and 4 for Walker, 8 wins for him, 4 wins. And so you take into consideration of that. The biggest difference has been, other than the fact that both riders DNF'd a race this year, is that when they were on the podium, that Bryson Neal, Walker Fowler, every time he didn't win, finished second. Bryson's finished a couple of thirds, which begins to separate some of those points, and obviously some other things happening.
But the bonus points for winning that 30 to 25 points, Bryson got so many of those.
Yes, absolutely.
Completely washed that third place finishes out.
Yeah, that's what helped out. And then obviously if you get in a situation where there's the tie, that's how they're going to break that tie. An hour and 36 minutes into this. We still don't know who our champion's going to be, but we still have, or at least we have a pretty good idea at this particular point how it's all going to break down. But
again, it is not over. More than one lap of racing left to go. We wait on our leaders here at the 9-mile marker. They've got another 3 or so to go before they get to the finish line itself. Then they will see a white flag. This comes into what Cody was talking about there a few moments ago. I brought up the point that they've been conditioned to the 5 laps now and things of that nature. But again, probability, like he was talking about, being out there, that little bit of extra time that they're going to be out there on the trail, that one more lap, chance and circumstance and opportunity certainly presents itself for things to happen either in your favor or well against you.
And I got to think, if you're Bryson Neal, I know Caleb alluded to this a minute ago off air, but he wanted 4 laps. Because he said, I'm where I need to be. Give me a checkers.
Yep, absolutely.
More time for error. But I think he's going to be okay. But
yeah.
Nonetheless, one extra thing to worry about. I got to go out there and make sure I do it for one more lap.
Well, one thing,
no mechanicals, all this dust, not clogging your air filters. I don't know if they thought about changing air filters since they got the time gap and stuff. Things to be thinking about.
But one thing that you can say about both Walker Fowler's program and Bryson Neal's program, they are bulletproof programs. I mean, you see very little failure.
Bidwell bulletproof. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
There.
You see very little failure on mechanical issues, and that says a lot. And especially when you push these machines to the level that they get pushed out here in the conditions that they get pushed in. I mean, they run some of the best and the strongest parts there are out there. But again, there are limitations, and these guys know how to exceed those limitations sometimes, and sometimes too often.
It's ridiculous. Cody, you can vouch for that. You guys absolutely go out there and try to destroy these machines.
That was my trick this year. Just like, you got to finish first, you must first finish. You got to make the machine, get through the race, and know what it's going to do, know what it likes and doesn't like. I had a couple of learning years there on the 4x4. It doesn't like certain holes and G-outs and hitting stuff certain ways. So just learning the machine you're on and getting it under control. But these guys, the Sport Quad, they can take a lot more, and they're framing stuff out and sending stuff, and they're definitely a lot less weight behind them. They can take some harder hits.
Get the Monster Mile, 9-mile marker here on at the Ironman GNCC. I'm sure a lot of folks beginning to work their way out of the woods back down towards the finish line as
there's that bright pink helmet.
Walker Fowler working his way behind some lap traffic right now. He's getting out of his way.
My bad.
A couple panic revs, maybe a little yelling and whooping and so forth to get him out of the way. What's the best way for because I'm sure those things are loud and hard to hear. How do you get the attention of the rider in front?
You guys have horns, don't you?
Yeah. Mine don't do much. I yell most races. I'm even having technical difficulties with them. So, no, I need to figure out. So I want to get air horns so bad. I'm tired of just the normal stupid buzzer horns.
Get you
an air horn.
A nice, freight train.
But but like with the quads, they have the rev limiter. That's the trade-off. We don't have have the clutch. We can't rev. Don't have that rev bomb, so we get the horns. So that's our way of doing it. I've been having technical difficulties. Been yelling a lot today with the dust, and that's ours.
Bryson Neal now checking in. Still solid ride there. Not overly aggressive. Just putting in the time. A little more than one lap to go, and the history pages will likely read Bryson Neal, your 2022 GNCC champion. But again, it ain't over yet. There's some of those routes we talk about, how the track develops. Hillsides do that same thing, and that's how conditions change throughout the course of the race. I think that actually is a tree itself.
I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, big branch.
Yeah, big branch falling on the track right there. I was looking got up this morning to some high wind warnings, and they were talking about gusts up to 30 miles an hour. Thankfully, I don't think that we really had to face anything like that. I was a little concerned about that whenever we started the day. I mean, it's been a little breezy, but not the gust that they were talking about, at least not yet, and I hope that it doesn't. If it does, it waits till after the racing concludes here today.
Hey, weather's perfect. Unless you got to race in it and deal with the dust, it's perfection out there right now.
Yeah, who would have thought 75 and sunny last race of the year in October?
We'll take it.
I was freezing at the last race.
Yeah, this one's warmer than that one. That never happens.
Nuts. Hey, there he is, Adam McGill.
27 degrees or 29 degrees one morning. Chuck and I woke up, I think it was Saturday morning, and it seemed like it got colder all day. It felt great, and then it got colder all day long. Not temperature-wise, but wind-wise it did. There's Walker Fowler going through. There is his
cruising.
Man, his mechanic, Mark Notman, who is behind these championships that have made Walker what he is. It takes teamwork to make a dream work. I know that's a funny cliche that's being said all the time, but those two teaming up together were the greatest. Mark Notman was a professional racer, and Walker went to him and said, I want you to be my mechanic. Mark quit racing professionally just to become Walker's mechanic, and you see what that has done, man. The marriage together in that realm of
Mark's seen what Walker's seen. Mark, you know, and he want to be part of that program, want to be part of history.
It's been a winning duo for a long time.
Oh, there's going to be a winning duo for a long time, I think.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to continue to do some winning.
Yeah, good point. It ain't over. I mean,
no. Just one race, 1 year.
35 seconds now for Bryson behind Hunter. I believe the gap is also opening up between Hunter and Walker just a little bit. But we might see Bryson maybe gain another position if things keep going his way and he keeps going steady like he is right now.
Yeah, Bryson's got all the confidence in the world. You know, he's going to have that number 1 on his back next year, and be interesting to see how everyone reacts to that next year. See where Walker, see how much Walker wants it next year. And
17 seconds between Walker and Hunter. So
and then 35 back to Bryson, so 45 seconds.
Tightening up a little bit for Bryson right now. Yeah, you know, and going back to what you were saying, this right here, I mean, even if Walker ends up losing this championship, all that's going to do is fire him up for more. I mean, you talk about not hearing anything from Walker. He'll probably go into seclusion as soon as this race is over. You won't see any social media. Probably no interviews, nothing like that. He probably won't talk to anyone but sponsors. And then when we see come the big buck in 2023.
Well, I'll get the text from Kroom. And Hunter Hart will be hyped. Man, I'm taking it to him. And I'm going to say, Hunter, hang on. Calm down. Walker Fowler's not paid to win those races. He's paid to win these races. But, yeah, you're right, though. Yeah, it'll be silence and back to the drawing board and working.
But, you know, again, taking on that note about Hunter Hart, man, what a...
He's coming on.
He is. And if he can continue at this pace through the offseason and pick up here in February when the season begins in 2023, he is going to be another force to stack in against that, and that will again complicate the championship bid there. More so, maybe it might even be a favor for Walker Fowler when you look at the big picture. Because when you look at the big picture, you take those 3 riders in particular, put them together. Consistency definitely weighs in the favor of Walker Fowler.
Yeah, and then I mean, think about what are guys like John Glotta going to do this offseason. I mean, he showed some really great signs of greatness and being a contender this year for a few races. And, you know, depending on what he does on his offseason, he might be up there in the mix. And you still can't count out. I mean, I just have this feeling Chris Borich is going to give us one more Borich before it's all said and done. But hey, he's like me, getting old. Adam McGill, hey, getting old. Doesn't even want to party anymore. But those boys still certainly have it.
Has he got grandpuppies now or something? Is that what
he might? He might.
McGill might have some grandpuppies, and if that's the case, I get it.
It will be a hard sell to get him to stay and party because the puppies are back home. So I know that's going to be tugging at the heartstrings of Adam McGill after today.
Great shots again from our Yamaha live drone. And if you can't see it, and if you haven't noticed, just take a look at the beauty that surrounds us out here with the fall colors as Walker Fowler makes his way past another lap rider, or more lap traffic, I guess you could say, out there now. And 16 seconds, 17 seconds, I think, is what we had calculated. I'm beginning to think that gap is opening up a little bit more between first and second as, nope, that's not Hunter checking through there. There is Is that Bryson Neal? Did we miss Hunter Hart?
No, he went through.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I missed him then. You guys might not have, but I did.
No, Hunter was still holding that like 20 seconds back.
Okay.
Yeah, no big changes out front.
What race am I watching?
He's in that all black. It's hard. He doesn't have no number on his back. He's got the camel back. It's hard to pick him out.
You know, I gotta tell you that changing it up every week and changing the color of the graphics and plastics and stuff really throws me for a loop.
Hunter coming in for a pit stop. Now, he did not take the splash of fuel, if I'm correct, last time around, like Bryson and Walker had.
They probably waved him off. Like, there's one more lap. What are you guys doing? And then they got the 2-lap party. He's like, well, I guess I'm going to stop this lap.
That's it. Let's see how close Bryson Neal is.
Yeah, that might have been something that kind of caught him off guard, thinking he wasn't going to need it. Bryson Neal,
there's Dad
getting the hat.
Oh, wow. That is not 35 seconds.
Not no mo. We'll get the clock on that. Figured out that was, hey, Casey Creek out here with this weekend. He's here.
Yeah, I tell you,
Bryson's man.
Casey's behind a lot of championships out there.
Yes.
From Impact Solutions out there. He and Jay Goebel working together, and Maxxis Tires and all those different companies they work for. I tell you, 48 seconds off Walker Fowler is what Bryson Neal is right now. So that's the gap that I guess we're kind of watching. But yeah, we'll see here in just a moment what the gap is between he and Hunter Hart. Coming through the chicanes now. Lap 4 in for Walker Fowler, 27-21, so he gets the white flag on this one. And as we check, 38.5 seconds is what timing and scoring is telling us between first and second place position. So that should put Bryson Neal 10 seconds back behind Hunter Hart now. Lap times 27.21 for Fowler, 27.47 for Hunter Hart, and 27.04 for Bryson Neal. And he is, I don't know if he's getting faster or this that single pace that he's running right now just is just that strong.
Yeah, you just having a really pace he's comfortable with that's just really high, you know, and he just he's rolling.
Well, I mean, at this point, you know, he's probably starting to feel it too, you know, and the track is probably a lot of fun at this point, and he doesn't have anybody to worry about behind him. He doesn't have to worry about attacking anybody ahead of him right now, so he might just be out having a little bit of fun at this point. I'm sure we'll find out when he comes around to tell us there on the post-race interviews. You have to wonder. I mean, you do wonder, and we always speculate, but how never right about what these guys are thinking about. He's probably thinking about a bologna sandwich or something.
But, hey, it was like last year when Stu Baylor came back and started clicking off wins, and I'm thinking, there's no way.
There he is.
That is Jeff Hart.
No, that's Sasquatch. That's Bigfoot.
Oh, that's right. I mean, let's not reveal the identity of Sasquatch. Bigfoot sighting. I wonder if he's got. You think he's got any beef jerky?
Yeah, he did. That's getting really close. I don't know if that was double thumbs up. That guy I think he went from a double thumbs up to a double how you doing there for a second.
Dude, that berm looks like it's 6 feet tall.
Look at that.
As he went by there.
Look how hard.
There's nobody getting up into it either.
No, you can't. It will swallow you. Hayden Mickelson said he accidentally got pulled into one of those and almost framed out and got stuck on the 4x4. He said he had to like shake it and get it going and turn it sideways to get it out of it.
Hey, if you big 4x4 guys are having issues.
Oh yeah, we got that more-wheel drive
That's
big in it.
it,
If it ain't going, you know, these guys definitely will have problems if they get sucked up in there. So you gotta be careful about that. You gotta be aware of it.
Wow, that blue groove is so interesting out here today, I think, but it just shows the speed and intensity these guys are attacking the track at and how they're getting on the throttle out there.
Yeah, and for the bikes tomorrow, it's going to start breaking up a lot and going to have some bad acceleration and braking grooves, broken down like almost ruts in the hard pack.
And they're definitely not going to want to ride out in that duff either. So as we look at the clock, we are an hour and 50 minutes into this race, and we can expect within 24 minutes or so a checker flag to fly. And within 25 minutes to know for sure who our 2022 GNCC ATV champion will be.
Bryson Neal on screen here, giving chase to Hunter Hart, who just went by a moment ago.
And again, a race that's so different from what we saw just 2 weeks ago with the top 5-6 riders nose to tail.
Yeah, and I think Tuesday or Wednesday it was still saying maybe snow here. And then Wednesday night it was like 75 and sunny. Have a beautiful weekend, guys. I was not prepared for it. I only brought sweatpants. Like I didn't even check until Friday we were here. I'm like, why is it so warm? I really thought I was expecting snow.
I brought my winter parka.
Yeah, exactly. I had beanies and all sorts of stuff. I brought cold gear.
New layer of gear to put underneath. So
I stayed at home, so I had my whole wardrobe there. Okay, I was fine. I got to hand it to all the riders across the board. We've already crowned Cody Collier. You're one of them. We also crowned a micro ATV champ, which was is it Bodie Buchanan? I get them confused. Or was it Cody? It was Bodie. Oh, help me out. I know I just butchered it. It was either Bodie or Cody. Bottom line is, hey, keep your eye on the Buchanan name. It's back, baby. Grabbing the micro ATV title, and then Hunter Jones wrapped up the micro bike national championship. And we had one more. My buddy Cole Likens, Indiana boy, wrapping up youth ATV championship. So this
all that came down to the wire?
All today.
Wow.
I mean, it was just championship #1 plate city up there on the box today, and one more to go.
Heard all the interviews, and I know Cody was sweating it coming into this one. I was having a lot of fun with him last time.
Oh my goodness!
About his third place position finish.
I was terrified to be in the middle.
Let me have it. No. I was just ready to get it done, ready to get the year over with, and great year. Just happy to get it done.
That's a added element. Not just from guys like me and Rodney, but social media in general now is something that you guys as professional athletes have to deal with. There's just no way around it.
That marketability is solely on social media.
100%.
You have to make posts, and that's where you get sponsors, and that's it.
Yeah. But how do you handle that? You have a bad race. And
I noticed that too.
Oh, it did look like Bryson took the
beeline.
safe line, the beeline.
I think Hunter might have got bobbled at the top of the hill. He was going to follow Hunter, and he might have bobbled, and he's like, I'll just go around real quick. It's not that far around. But yeah, no, he did miss that line there. But go ahead, Mikey.
But what's your take on that? I mean, you have a situation where, let's say you go out and you have a DNF, and you got a guy like me. It's, what happened, Cody Collier? You got a DNF today. Versus those moments where you're winning and the interviews are fun and they're easy and the social media is fun and easy, but those bad days, how do you handle that? The two aspects of it.
It's tough, we're all super hyper competitive. Everyone out there, we're all hyper competitive, and we all want it equally as bad. And it's almost like a macho man thing, like who can get it done today, who's got it today, who doesn't, and just we're all out there having a great time. But when it comes down to the racing of it, it's did you come to play or not? And, some days it doesn't work out for you, and you can blame this, that, and the other. And at the end of the day, you didn't come prepared, and you got to come prepared every single round. And you just gotta, I don't know, learn from it. Use it as a learning experience. Don't kick yourself while you're down, kind of thing. Use it as a learning experience and move forward.
Love it.
Well, that's exactly what we're doing here at the Ironman GNCC. Moving forward to crowning a champion. Will it be a new name that wears the #1 in 2023? We have got, about 20 minutes or so to get that figured out. And, of course, a whole lot more here in GNCC racing, my friends. It is the Ironman GNCC. Stick around. We got more to come.
We all have our reasons to accomplish, to work hard. We share a common goal, to be the best. Keep fighting, put in the work, never take the easy way. Your drive and determination fuels our passion.
Born of family values and a homegrown work ethic, Cometic Gaskets seals your machine so you can focus on the finish line. Cometic Gaskets are the competitive standard for racers who demand the very best. Cometic Gaskets are constructed from superior materials designed to perform in the most demanding environment, whether it's championships on the line or a day in the dirt with friends. Professionals and enthusiasts depend on Cometic. Cometic Gaskets, sealing championships since 1989.
AMSOIL runs on freedom and has since 1972. We punish our products firsthand in our world-class laboratories and beyond, because some things can't be learned from a test tube. Run with us.
Ben Kelly here, 2021 GNCC champion. Subscribe to Racer X and get yourself a fresh FMF t-shirt.
This Racer TV broadcast is brought to you by Specialized Turbo e-bikes. It's you, only faster. And by Rocky Mountain ATV MC. Get ready.
And welcome back. White flag waves. We are 15 minutes away from a checkered flag and deciding our championship for 2022, and a look back to 2021 here at this very race. A little different conditions. We'd seen some moisture. Not quite like what we were going to see overnight for the bike race coming up the next day, but nonetheless a great start. Walker Fowler got off to a big start, as we are used to seeing that happen. And of course, again, a good start there for the 521 of Adam McGill. And well, the day wore on. You know, you saw the favorites. See Hunter Hart, you see Junior out there. But the one rider that really rose to the occasion on this day, Devin Feehan, really working his way up into the pack as well today. And a little tighter situation as you see conditions tighten things up, I think, last year as opposed to what it's doing in today's racing action, as you had the top four riders going at it nose to tail basically through better than half the race out there. But as this race wore on, it became more definitive that it was going to be a battle between Devin Feehan and Walker Fowler as they went at it through the many different obstacles out there and fought their way Hunter Hart, I guess. Yeah, there's Devin Feehan. So here we are making our way around. Turn your microphone on there. Yeah. And here it is, coming around. That's McClure.
Cole Richardson.
Cole Richardson. Yeah, that always throws me off whenever they change numbers like that every year.
Yeah, I can't believe they do that. Yeah, everyone should just get the same spot every year.
I kept getting confused, but you know, I mean, Devin Feehan, and we got to give a shout out to him. I believe this is his last race as an XC1 ATV pro racer as well. He's going to be going into mountain bike racing, from what I understand, from this point on. Hopefully, we'll get to see him some out here at EMTB or something like that. But just amazing the efforts that he put in, the levels that he rode at on occasion out there, and of course, good to see that kind of a race that he had there the year before he decided, I think I'm just going to switch gears. And I think he had done that early in the season coming into this year. So with that being said, he's making the best out of it, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, doing what he wants, what's best for him, and, you know, you can never knock anyone for doing just that. But, like you said, he's had days of where he could show he was one of the best riders in the United States, if not the world, and, you know, come out here and win GNCCs against Walker Power and all the proven best in the world, you know.
Chasing him down, man, chasing him down to the way that he did on a few occasions, just remarkable.
Yeah, so miss a talent like that in our racing world, but best of luck.
Cole Richardson, who, again, had obviously the good right here last year, 7th place position here today. Again, different.
Took a big wreck. He did miss an visor, so he might be a little banged up from that. But he was running up front early, running that 4th place position behind McGill.
Yeah, so funny how things can change over the course of now just over 2 hours of racing. Our leaders due in about 12 minutes. We'll be somewhere in the neighborhood of 2 hours and 2 hours 15 minutes. If my calculations are correct, I may be off. I'm showing 11 minutes for our leaders due in, but they may be running a little quicker pace. So probably be about 3 more minutes. Our next shot be coming up probably somewhere around the 9-10 mile marker. 9 mile marker, so we'll check in with those riders then. Take on this race day today, Cody Collier. What are you thinking about it, man?
It's, you know, Bryson just rode a great race. Walker's controlling everything he can control, and it's just he didn't put himself in the right spot here at the end of the year. You know, learn a few things for next year, try to come back stronger for next year. But I think Bryson's got this. You know, he riding, putting together a solid race, doing what he needs to do, and you want to see Bryson take it home, I think.
I know.
Wrong mechanical, something weird. Bryson's got this thing.
Right. You know, and I'm sure race fans may not be getting the show that they were hoping for to see these guys going at it and battling right down to the wire. And I know we as announcers and race fans, and we were kind of hoping for a winner-take-all scenario to unfold here. But
hoping Walker won last weekend and Bryson was able to sneak by and, you know, make it a winner-take-all scenario.
Yeah, but either
Bryson having the comfort that he has of it not being winner-take-all, we'd not getting the exciting finish to 22 that we would have all loved. But Bryson doing everything he's got to do.
You know, Bryson's not out to excite. He's out to win races and win challenges. And there is a lot of excitement to see someone challenging someone that has been so dominant for so long. Even if you are a deep-seated and deep-rooted fan, you have to respect the fact that someone has risen to that occasion, and you have to respect the fact that it gives you more fire and more dedication and more desire for your champion to win, your rider to win. So it does so much. I mean, it really does. I mean, it may put a lot of pressure on the rider individually, mentally, but what it does for everything else surrounding him is it increases the loyalty, it increases the strength and the love of the people that stand behind you, and that's what makes it so special, I think, for these guys too, is that kind of fan support that they get from that.
Yeah, can't argue with that.
And you'll find out one day. You're a champion now.
Yeah. When I make it big one day, maybe I'll get all that. No, I had so many great people out there for me today, congratulating me, and you know, all the kids out there were throwing out all sorts of swag today. All the kids running around, and you know, me and like I said, me and Hart played football for like 2 hours with a group of kids yesterday. So
awesome.
We're just out here enjoying it, man. That's what it's all about.
Awesome. Awesome. White flag still continues to fly here at the finish line. Just over 8 minutes now left in this one. Walker Fowler, your leader. And of course, behind him, about 38 seconds, well, it was Hunter Hart and Bryson Neal. And things definitely a little different now at this juncture in the lap, but not a whole lot different, I don't think.
Maybe some lappers, people figuring out good lines, and I think the race is about settled. I don't think you'll see P. Neal do anything crazy. Walker, you see Walker shred that berm like right there. He's riding Mach 4, and he's just gone. Walker's just gone. Hunter's riding a great race. Bryson's not pressing, so it'll funnel in like this.
I mean, it's exciting. It definitely is. So at this juncture in the race, you know, it turns from a point of we're not excited necessarily about the race. But what we are excited about is a new champion is about to be crowned.
The conclusion of the season. Sorry about that earlier. Yeah, no, I was saying like the race. You were wanting Bryson and Walker having that duel to the checkered flag, but Bryson's got himself in a spot where he's able to take it easy.
Absolutely.
But, yeah, I agree with you 100%.
3 miles, less than 8 minutes now away from a new champion to be crowned, as now Walker Fowler.
Hunter Hart there on screen.
Sees that.
Oh, Bryson's caught him. See?
And look at that. Walker Fowler on his way to Checkers as Hunter Hart chasing him down, trying, but right now he's trying to defend off the advancements of Bryson Neal, who is likely going to be your newly crowned GNCC ATV champion. Like we said, about 3 miles to go. And if you look on the race clock right now, it says 6 minutes and 40 seconds before these riders are due in. At least Walker Fowler, and then another minute or so back to this battle for the number 2 spot that seems to be shaping up. But again, the ride of a lifetime here, the greatest third place finish that Bryson Neal will ever finish is this one here today at the Yamaha Racing Ironman GNCC. The Magna One Motorsports rider, believe it or not, Magna One Motorsports has cleaned house in GNCC racing this season with Jordan Ashburn. They get some other titles, I believe, in the XC3 class, if I'm not.
Brody Johnson?
Yeah, getting the XC3 championship. We got, of course, coming with a Magna One Motorsports championship. Bryson Neal is on his way to Checkers right now, it appears. And what a great show for a satellite team, if you will. Basically supported by those folks there at Magna One Motorsports. Chris is doing such an amazing job with what they got going on and in that program and building such an amazing program. You don't expect to see those kinds of things, and riders win from things like you. You expect those are the building programs. Those are the programs where the rider is going to go race, and then one of the factory riders will pull him up. But that's not the case here in 2022.
Yeah, no, Drew and Chris and them have been in the sport for as long as I can remember. I've been racing Drew growing up. So, you know, he's got 10, 15 years of experience coming in, knowing how to run, you know, his family's program, and just expanding that, taking cues from, hired some good people, got some good people around them that they've been able to make it happen.
Well, folks, now less than 2 miles away from a checker flag for Walker Fowler, and he will wait at that finish line to see what the fate of his 8th championship will be. Will it be 8 straight, or will it stop at 7 and we see a new champion crowned in Bryson Neal? Still waiting on that battle for that 2nd place position. Walker has gone through quite some time ago now, and I believe we may be seeing it sneaking through here in just a moment. Nope, still not in the battle for 2nd. Lap traffic getting out there and certainly making visibility a little tough.
Look at that dust.
More lapped riders, more visibility problems for our riders as they make their way through. So you know that's got to be tough for both Hunter Hart and Bryson Neal, and it increases the opportunity for mistakes and odd chances of things happening to Bryson Neal. As you see him right there, it almost looked like he missed a gear going through that.
He was just checking up. He was like, I literally can't see, and had to come to a stop where it blew all that dust in his face right there coming up over that knoll.
So with that being said, 2 miles now to Checkers. and a championship for Bryson Neal. Can he make it happen? Will the Bidwell Bullet stay bulletproof here in the closing moments of 2022?
Yeah, and how about this? You know, we got McGill still running solid in 4th place. Abney's going to get another top 5 ride, it looks like, before the end of the year. But looks like Wyatt Wilken in his first XC1 race is only 12 seconds off of Abney for a top 5 potentially in his first XC1 race ever. So cool developments going on there. And then Stephen Harrell still able to be a top 10 from your XC2 class. And then Ronnie Rush, I'm pretty sure this is one of his better finishes of the year, getting into the top 10 here before the year's over.
Absolutely, and a solid top 10 there for him as well. We had a solid field of XC1 riders and XC2 Pro-Am riders, and Ronnie is 10th overall right now as we look at that. Oddly, only one XC2 Pro-Am rider in the top 10 this week. As you said, Stephen Harrell, and
yeah. Harrell.
Oh, is it Harrell?
It is Harrell. I was wrong. You
Okay.
were right. It is Harrell.
But,
Go with your gut, Rod.
Anyway, Steve doing a great job out of Elk Ridge, Maryland, and we expect bigger and brighter things out of him in the future. But again, just waiting. We are less than 5 minutes. We are in the 3-minute zone, 2.5 minutes according to timing and scoring before we expect to see Walker Fowler gracing the fans at the Checkered flag and the win here at the Ironman GNCC. But will it be the championship win as Fowler makes his way into these final sections one last time here for 2022?
Waiting on that 2 spot, Hart. Bryson Neal, that battle for the 2 spot.
And will this dust be a factor here in this 5th and final lap of the Ironman GNCC today as we watch from this Yamaha live drone? Such a steady shot. As you can see, the breeze is blowing down below, but not near the stiff gust that we were expecting when we woke up this morning with the forecast coming in from the National Weather Service. So an amazing day. Interesting news just coming to light here, as I guess it has been said that Bryson may have pitted outside his pit when he was in the pit zone, and that being outside his pit has now got him penalized 1 position. So automatically that will put Bryson Neal, if he finishes in 3rd place and 4th place. So Bryson Neal cannot afford to lose a position and drop back to the physical 4th place spot on the racetrack right now. So if Adam McGill happens to bridge a 1 minute and 45-second gap, then all of a sudden things could get a little bit hairy and scary for Bryson Neal. As we said, the drama unfolds as we are now less than 2 miles away from the finish line. Walker Fowler due in this minute for Checker flags and his hopes of being able to secure his championship, but taking the win. Walker Fowler here at the 2022 Ironman GNCC. Win number 73. Now we wait. This is the big question. Can Bryson Neal finish in this 3rd place position? Again, it's got to be 4th or better, but a penalty has been imposed. So now that 3rd turns into a 4th, and a 4th would be 5th if it happens that way. But a 1 minute and 45-second gap may be what is going to be the saving grace for the 241 machine in his first Grand National Cross Country Championship title. We wait with bated breath as these riders make their way through these chicanes in the final turns of not only this race, but of 2022 in GNCC competition. Already we're hearing some revs out in the pits as it seems some celebrations for some folks are underway. But will the grandest celebration of all to take this Grand National Cross Country #1 plate be Bryson Neal's today?
There's Hart.
Hunter Hart making his way in, and there is the yellow helmet.
I see him doing a little wheelie, I think.
The 241, and there is your 2022 Grand National Cross Country champion, Bryson Neal. taking the third place position physically on the racetrack again today, and that's all it's going to need to take this win in this championship as the crowd has gathered. Hundreds are gathering around now for this celebration right now, folks, and if you're going to win a championship and do it in this fashion, you want to win one here at the Ironman GNCC, because you cannot find the accolades anywhere else that like what you're going to find here in Crawfordsville, Indiana, my friends. Bryson Neal is your 2022 GNCC champion. Walker Fowler post up win number 73, another milestone and another feather in his cap as well as he closes out this championship season, not in his most favorable way, but most definitely respectful as far as champions are concerned. And like everyone knows, it ain't over yet. 2023 is going to be a heater, my friends, as we now delve in to the finish line celebrations with Bryson Neal and his team. So calm, cool, and collected, almost as if it hasn't even set in yet. Let's head over now as we've watched this all unfold here in the 2022 season. And with a salute to our 2022 champion, Bryson Neal, our producer Adam Gordon put this together. Takes the checkers and the win. Finals gains Bryson Neal. The Bidwell Bullet takes the checkers and the win here at the Parts Unlimited Mason-Dixon GNCC. Congratulations to your 2022 Grand National Cross Country Champion, Bryson Neal. And now as these celebrations continue down here at the finish line, lots and lots of folks gathering around. I know Mikey Wayne's trying to find his way in, Nick V on the camera down there, and Bryson readying himself because talking to the race fans, you can see it right now, I'm sure. Can I have your jersey? Can I have your goggles? And I'm sure Bryson's thinking, this may be one that I want to hold on to. This is the one that sealed the deal. I can see that one plastered on a shadow box on the wall, the shirt that he wore to win the 2022 Grand National Cross Country Championship title. A feeling that not many people get to feel, and as we're joined in the booth now by the voice of IXCR, Mr. Mike Brown. And Mike, I tell you, man, I know getting to witness this on the soils of your home state like this, I know it's an honor for you. You see Walker Fowler's come over to congratulate the newly, supposed newly crowned new champion here. I'm sure we're waiting on some official words to make sure it's true. And a lot of that may be the case as we see that Mikey Waynes, or Run DNC Mikey, is about to take over things right now. And we'll get a word in with our champion. But again, wow, what a day. What a great way to wrap this season up, huh?
Yeah, both competitors, fighting it out to the end. Bryson, of course, he's been trying to get a championship for many years, and Walker's got a pocket full of them. And, with good for him, Bryson able to come through from Ohio and get it this year.
Well, Mikey Waynes, I think you may be ready down there, and if you are, we'll be ready to throw it down to you. Mikey's, I like the shirt that he's got. I see the Johnny Gallagher, 27 years, XC1 Pro, 1996 to 2022. And, of course, wow. And then he had a shirt on earlier that said, Run GBC.
GBC.
Looked like Run DMC from the 80s or something. But
he's changing costumes throughout the day. I know somebody already spoke for his gold necklace, so that's going to be missing after tonight.
I can imagine there's a lot going to be missing tonight from this guy's quad and everything else. Bryson Neal, look at that smile. Those pearly whites are shining bright here in the great state of Indiana right now, and rightfully so as we head down with Mikey Waynes and your new GNCC champion, Bryson Neal.
All right, I'm struggling to hear you guys take it. It's complete pandemonium down here. Hey, you know what? Forget about the race. Forget about everything. Bryson Neal, your national champion!
Oh, my gosh, Mikey. This is that was the most stressful race of my life. You know, I completely just biffed the start. Almost, I looked over, and I think Jay Shad was right next to me. He was dead last and next to dead last, and I was just like, yep, okay, here we go. And, man, it was so dusty that first lap. I took a couple chances, you know, I got around some guys, and we made some progress moving forward, and we just kept clicking forward. And once I got into the third place, I more or less just settled in. You know, I was happy where I was at. I was watching the gap to and from, and I knew that even if I rode up on Hunter or anyone in front of me, it's going to be really hard to pass with the dust. So, you know, I caught Hunter that last lap at the beginning of the lap, and I was kind of like, well, I need to play it a little bit safe and just save my bike and make sure. I was like, if I get to the 8 or 9 mile marker, I might try it. I tried, but it was so sketchy. Whenever I got up on his rear wheels, it was real tough. So I just rode it in. I had no idea that with all the stuff going on, but just that was the most stressful race. And just to get this done in front of the Ironman racing fans, in front of this beautiful weather and this track, I'm so freaking pumped. I got such great family and friends behind me. I'm just beyond words.
Bryson, let's put it in perspective a little bit. You know, you go back, you and I, we talked a little bit this week for a little radio interview, and I brought up the injury, and you don't get to hear Rodney Tomlin and Mikey Waynes talking about, oh, Bryson Neal's doing well. You fall off the radar because you're injured, you're out. All that hard work, man, put it into your words. What did it take to go from that injury and wondering, what if? Was that my moment? Did I miss out on it? You fast forward to today as a champion. Put that in your own words.
It's just you got to be committed. You know, when everyone was racing a snowshoe, I was starting my journey and working on this year. And it took me the entire second half of the year, all the way up until December, until I got cleared to ride. You know, it's a lot of work, so many hours of stretching, so many pointless, just silly exercises, and just I'm used to going 100 miles an hour, and to work at only a quarter, half speed, all that, all the levels. Ben Greenwood, off-road performance coach, he had my back this whole time. He put me in the right direction, took care of me, and got me back ready to compete. And then I didn't know where we was going to be when we came out the first race this year. You know, I didn't ride with none of these guys all winter, and we came out, and to grab the first win, that was huge. And man, we clicked off 8 wins this year, and looking back, you know, it's crazy how much time flies, and it's such a long road to get here. It's such a long grind. It's a long year, so many races, so many avenues, so many tracks, so many different things that can happen and are thrown at you in GNCC racing, and to tackle them all and come out on top, you know, we worked at this since we was a child, you know, my dad and me, and I'm just so pumped that we finally got this done, and we captured this XC1 title.
Hey, Bryson, we don't normally do this, but all that hard work, the national championship here at the pro level, I know you got a lot of great people and great sponsors behind you as well, man.
Let me see that before. Hey, let me see that before. Yeah. I'd like to thank first and foremost all my family and friends who had my back and supported me through my injury, and everyone who came out this weekend. You know, my dad, my mom, my girlfriend, my sister, my entire family, Justin Fallon, Chris Landers at Magna One Lubricants Motorsports, Troy Edelblue, Bryson Hatfield, Corey Ward, Tyler Ward, Dustin Byers, Michael Vanderleyer, my cousin Tyler Woodridge, the entire crew, everybody who came out there and helped me, Pat Kidwell, Zach Gales, Toby Reed at Motor Expert Tires, Moose Racing, Parts Unlimited, CST Tires, Tire Balls, DWT Wheels, Tire Balls East, Elka Shocks, Impact Solutions, Waynesburg Yamaha, Hinson Clutch Components, IMS Tank Products, Furworks, UPP Racing, DP Brakes, X-Brand Goggles, Anti-Gravity Batteries, Landers Trade, Home Solutions Store and Trade, Micah Handlebars, Anti-Gravity Batteries, Wiseco, Cometic Gaskets, HBD Graphics, Evans Coolant, Hauser Racing Products, Lone Star Components, Jim Hardy, the Mud Plugs, Barker's Performance Exhaust, Vision Air, Factory 43 bumpers, Twin Air filters got me through today, Web Racing cams, and all these awesome fans. Everyone cheered me on every lap. I saw you guys. I didn't yell back today. I was just like, I was so tight. I got to get this done to the finish. I didn't want to yell back or anything. So bad juju. So all the fans that cheer me on every single lap, I see you. Thank you so much.
There we go. Your national overall champion, Bryson Neal.
Well, let the maracas begin their chatter because, man, we got ours going up here right now. Bryson Neal is your 2022 GNCC champion, and what a note to end this season on, and what a note for me to end on. I tell you, it's been a remarkable season. It's been a remarkable climb to watch all these kids. Like Bryson said there just a moment ago, Mike, he and his dad have been working on this since he was a kid, you know. And whether or not, you know, they were serious about it then. They talked about, I want to be, and I'm sure he dreamed about being, and his dad dreamed that he would be. You wonder, you know, did they really think it was possible? Was it a reality? And, you know, sometimes it is. And you see it, you dream it, you want it, you live it, you breathe it, you eat it, you become it.
Well, maybe I'm wrong, but was it a couple of years ago, Bryson Neal, we'll call it on plan A, and then a couple of years ago he switched things up and brought it in a little more in-house and a little more, I'll say, control of things. Yeah. And injury took a little while to develop. But, brother, there he is.
Absolutely. And like we said, a big milestone in the career of Walker Fowler today. Win number 73 for that rider. And as hard and as tough a pill as it may be to swallow this championship loss, I know that it's only fuel for the fire for Walker Fowler. And what it has done has created for us the greatest spectacle to come in 2023. As Walker Fowler celebrates win 73, let's head down with Mikey Waynes.
Yeah, we had a shot there of Walker smiling, a true champion. He knew that he didn't get it this year, but he's going to recoup, resort, and get back at it and make a full charge at it for next year.
Absolutely, he will. So when Mikey regains connection here, I know a lot of folks down here with us. All our sponsors out in full force. You see the folks from FMF are out. Yamaha is out in full force. I think every sponsor that is on our sponsor.
You got me?
There you are, buddy. Go ahead. You were on.
Okay, all right, we're back. We're back. Let's start that over, man. I apologize for that, Walker. Hey, man, I don't know what else to say. 7-time champ comes to an end here today.
Yeah, you know, comes to an end for a year. I'll say this, and I don't know if I can back it up because obviously it's really hard to do it, but the day that I beat Chris Borich in 2015, he said, I'll let him borrow it for a year. But I will say that the Bryson Neal team, that Magna One Motorsports team, they're tough. You know, obviously, as dominant as they were this year, I'm going to have to find something special next year. You know, obviously, everyone want to know if I'm retiring. I think I'm not. Already got the bikes, already building them. Already contracted to race next year, and try to be the first guy to win a championship after you get beat or dethroned in 35 years. So that's my new goal. But yeah, I told myself, I prepared myself for this. You know, whether I would win or whether I would lose, and you know, I had 8 other races to make a difference, and I fell short. So you know, to blame it on one day or one race, I can't do that. I had eight races where I could have done something different. And, you know, I got to live with that. So hats off to that Magna One Motorsports team. Mr. Bryson Neal, congratulations on your championship. You know, they've conducted themselves very well the last couple races. Obviously, in the beginning of the year, I think we were both kind of, you know, fluffing feathers and, you know, bumping chests a little bit to see who was going to be king. And, you know, it kind of became apparent there in the middle of the season who really wanted it and who was struggling. So, like I said, just go home, regroup, get healthy, have some fun. I'm really excited to go race that works race out west and duke it out with motocross guys, flat track guys, works guys, and, you know, maybe start enjoying the finer things. I turn 30 next week, so, yeah, you know, just taking it in. The fans are still awesome. They still came over, congratulated us, and you know what? At the end of the day, that's what matters.
Hey, man. Hey, man of class right there. Make some noise. That is second-place finisher, Walker Fowler.
Wow, great,
I guess, display of a true champion in Walker Fowler right there, to be able to concede it, borrow it for 1 year. And, I mean, like he said, he accepted this. I think he accepted the fate of what was going to be going on. But, I think he sees it the same way we do. I mean, it's not over yet. I mean, it's only tip of the iceberg as far as what the level of competition is going to be like for the upcoming season. And unfortunately, I'll be watching from afar. I won't get to see it nearly as close as what I'm getting to watch it this year. But I tell you what a season to go out on. Thanks to everybody. Walker, thank you very much for the season that you put forth, no doubt about that. And we've got Hunter Hart standing by, who had a remarkable ride today. Be looking out for this guy.
All right, Rodney, I think you threw it down to me. I apologize, guys. Having some trouble here. And a lot of people down here. Second. Hunter Hartman finishing in the 2 spot. Led early in this one. This was what we expect to see out of Hunter Hart today.
Yeah, absolutely. I jokingly said, we're not going to get the whole shot, but we're going to be the first one through the woods, and we were. Walkers and my line came together right there. I was fortunate enough to have a wheel on them, and from there I just kind of put my head down and said, we're gonna run with this thing today, and we were running, buddy, and had to let these big legs stretch, and we were doing great. Got to Twin Hills the first lap. Just lapped the judgment, really wasn't sure what I was doing there, and just cartwheeled the thing up the hill on the first lap, flipped it over. Some awesome fans there flipped me back over. Luckily, I was still leading at that point. I was like, all right, sick, let's go. And my front brake was locked on. Just the front wheels were not spinning, and I'm just punching that. I've got to brake loose enough. I've dealt with that probably till about the 6th, like legit in the field. Hit a brake, wheels would not spin, and we ended up stopping my dad in the creek section, and I was able to bend it back over enough there, and then it started to lock on at about the 8, and I was able to, at that point, Walker got by me, so I went in the field, ripped the handguard actually off the bike, bend it down enough for the front brake started to work, and then it was back to normal, and we kept Walker was enough ahead of us to where we could see him, and we were trying, but hey, heck of a day. Bryson caught me on the last lap, and he really didn't push the issue, which was kind of nice. He was just content to be there, and congrats to him. And the last 4 showed what we truly know how to do and what we can do, and what we're going to work on this winter.
Now, let me ask you this. I know you've paid attention in the past when you see Walker Fowler crowned a champion. Will you pay attention today when you watch Bryson Neal crowned a champion? Are you visualizing yourself in that situation?
Hey, we just kind of win, and at this point, we just I just want to be in the conversation every round. Before it was we wanted to be on the podium, and now I just want to be part of that front pack. And I think that we've showed that we can be there. After summer break, we definitely turned things around a lot from the beginning of the year, and hey, we're going to build from here. This is like a 19, great build off season, and we're gonna build from here. We've got we number 3 next year, so hey, we're good.
It's got to be good. Hey, Hunter Hart, congratulations on another solid year, friend. I promised my gold chain to a kid. Otherwise, I'll let you have it. Hey, wait, there's more. We just got word. I don't know if you guys have talked about this or not, but there was a penalty assessed. Bryson Neal doesn't affect the championship. Still the champion. Got a second before you close out. I want to go get a word in with Adam McGill.
All righty, sounds good, Mikey. Yeah, we got that word, and unfortunately, but at the same time, has no bearing on the overall finish as far as the season and championship is concerned. But how about it for Hunter Hart? It shows some great potential. I mean, we've talked about the potential, but I mean the growth that we've seen out
aliens,
the growth that we've seen out of him. Just in the last 2 seasons alone, and like he said, the last 4 races have really proven, who's hungry out here this season. And, remarkably, guys like Adam McGill still hungry after all these years, and I don't mean that with any disrespect whatsoever. I say that jokingly, but I also mean it wholeheartedly, to have that drive. And to be that competitive.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
It's going to get wild here.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
All right, here we go. Down here with Adam McGill. Adam, you said, well, I got it. Not really how I wanted to get it, but I got it.
Yeah, that is correct, man. I mean, it's been a long time since we've been up here on the box, and, I come through expecting a 4th place finish, and I come through, and Carrie Jo stopped me, and she said, hey, do you get 4th? I said, yeah. She goes, well, you're 3rd, and I'm like, Man, quit messing with me, man. Yeah. No, dude, I hate doing it like this, but dude, it feels so good to be up here. I don't think I'm going to argue it, man. I'm going to take it, and I'm going to go back to West Virginia. I'm going to take me a nap with some puppies.
But first, you're going to party all night here at Ironman, right, Adam McGill?
I don't know if I got a place to park.
Find a place to park. You park the rig at my house.
I got spot right beside me.
Oh, my goodness. Adam, congratulations on a podium finish today.
Thank you so much, Mikey. And if we do decide to stay, you better hang on, Crawfordsville, because we might burn her down.
Let's do it. Book it. Adam McGill, third place finisher.
I'm afraid he really means that.
I'm going back to my camper right now and locking the door.
Wow, what a day. What a year. Man, talk about explanation points. Talk about talking points and things left to wonder as far as what the future holds. We have it all right here as we look out over this massive Ironman facility with these thousands of racers and race fans that have joined us on this beautiful fall day in 2022, my friends. One more day of racing as far as the championship season is concerned, and that's tomorrow, so be sure and join us here on racertv.com for more GNCC Live. On behalf of Mikey Waynes and Cody Collier and all these amazing racertv.com crew members, thank you very much, guys. You put on a great show, no doubt about it. I'm Rodney Tomlin. Have a great day, everybody.